Ye nya kwada. No way. The most essential thing in human's life, a basic amenity. Ade wo hia nipa pa, ene ma me hudo mienu. Eye miensa. But ye hia mienu edi kan no. Eye mframa. De to so mienu eye nsuo. De to so miensa eye aduane. Enti from edi kan, ne nsuo aba, na se de aduane aba. Enti so betu kwatena ba bi kura no mu so be 40 days kura. Onwu. Oje nsuo no keke kura na obe emre de, ba onwu. Now so mobi ntena se the whole day, second day, third day, na nine onipa no ye hwan skom no bewu. Enti na say water is life no. Nsuo eye nkwa. Enye se nsuo ma nkwa o, nsuo eye nkwa. Ehwehwemu abeto dwa kire se echeche bi ani eche bi ya mfi kakra da animu yi ade ba ko ho ba ye den o wiase nyina eye nsuo ade ba ko ho ba ye den pa eye nsuo edu ba bi river Nile esubonte Nile a agidin wo wiase nyina no edu ba bi na ewe enti wiase mansan ko bata na bokokose obi anhwe se obebo ni nsuo ho ban esanse ya hwe ya nsuo be ye den a wiase nyina enti yesi unyame abaye me ade madame ho so nanam enti se bibi se ba na waboa ho de asie se na be oche na bi so ho bi koba saa wo an kyereo o man kan nyakopo ahira yen wo ma yesu bontin bebre o man ketuwe se de be ya ye ho be hehan yen wo ma yesu bontin bebre ai betu enye nso anu abere bia enkoba drase anko bra bawe pra bawe bremu bawe densu bawe ni nyina betu awe abobusa dabi enye possible sa enti nyakopon hunu se Ghana me doman Ghana enti me de sensu nyina be mam se de be ya mo betumi ahwe na mo de aye mo nema but ye de san nyakopon do no wo maye no ya to atwene ene etietia so 10 years ago mfie dudi UTV heya me kan sama do bi efa enso bi ho especially densu me kan wa sama kan esan say na nipa bi ekutu gold e we densu ho na hye so wo kwapue mantamu a nso ahodo mienu na wo ho ye wo brem na ye wo densu minim se na brem sitie na brem ya krojen pa ye de nsa bom ne ye no nso ne brem ase wo ye ne bibie nye ye bio ene ka densu na ne ntie na mani abra no pe ya me pese ade adwene ko bibi so ne se densu no ensevu community kitwa bi nko adabi densu asevu nipa bebro eastern region especially Koforidua densu asevu wo mo won samom densu asevu wo mo won kraha weja dam enti densu yensu a esese edi ho agro ehu hia pa in 2014 mining company bi na adwun so kotu gold e wo potrasi no duma se ne importamu ye sorry yo me bo hu dawuro e kasa fa ho a both Peace and UTV ne nti asa me say repeating na me sanka atwa adwun so ne say o man ko baabi me di kaka say so be kwa atwe o wiase nyina o man ga ne nso ye ka ho bi enti ne sia tutu ene mayi a ye ho be kire ye me kan wa sam kan ya nyankopon adom adwuma wura no ada romanti ye ma me kwan e ma me tumi ko report both TV and radio nti ba kana adaka bre frame o seja brem eja densu enso hu hia menti ehia wonti Ye kan wasam kan masa gold no mutuo no. Ekofam anya dwuma. Enna me no kasa yi. Kohwe potrase. Kohwe odumase. Ewo chebi kwan so yi apedwaja hye to chebi. Kohwe potrase. Kohwe odumase. Ye fra ba bi gulat. Kohwe ho. Eho. Ana denso no, e betu akase free ba pa. Me no kase ye to gold wo ho. Na gold ni yetu no. Enye gold ye de kwampa ni yetu. Ye de galamsey illegal mining. Ni anyina so ni mu say niema hodo mienu ene de to gold yi, anese de hwehwe gold no. De kan mercury and cyanide. Sa enro mienu nyina no eye very poisonous. Eye wudro ekum nipa. Sa niema hodo mienu mercury cyanide no ekum nipa. Enti sa cyanide no kogu nso no mu, mercury no kogu nso no mu a aba so no so den wa hu. Ni etia mani abra no pe ni say hwe okokofori dua a densu ena omonom, and it will interest you to know say woman yes sachet water no omudo do no a pure water no do no a at the pipe mu nsuo no ena so ne so ama ne be ye pure water no ama ye nom. Na machine be no nipa no be wa o de be test ehunu say ensu e maso ne so yi aye finished product a aye pure water ya me de akwa abontin no mercury nim anase cyanide nim oni afide bi o de be test ne sa. It maybe bia won so na wo say aye pure na wo nom no mercury wom cyanide wom. Look at the number of people etos pure water yi ediko mu fie nom. Everybody obi bia go to Koforidua, go to Nsamom, Accra ha anu ne nyina ye no. Eti yatina sia madensu so enna ye kasa yi ya say densu ema waja dam Nsamom Koforidua yensu ebe no mu no eho be basam esanse mercury ene cyanide ewo densu mu. Do you want to tell me say this year Buakwa South onim? Do you want to tell me say Miami MP Atachia onim? Nana no mo awo achima Buakwa computer mu wo nim. Say bibi say ekoso. Jenim. Minister of Lands and Natural Resources munim. Mineral So-Called Commission, munim. Environmental Protection Agency, munim. Water Resources Commission, munim. Uko Koforidua, there is complete officer. Sa officer no, eye officer ya tide suwa edensu ho asam kwa no moka. Tieniye pa. Uko Koforidua, ye wo office complete officer adwumayefo ho a, wondo mo de ne so mo hwe densu abodensu ho ban. It's your moka. That's what they say. Na sama meka no obi bafo se bi na manya ma se bi na meka. Na mo dachi bi ani akire bia no. Ye beka se ye hu yanka. Eso na kachi. Bibi wa wo siesie ne nya ye bio. Ese ya na sei. Uhunu ne ntamo a no wasi anu ntam. Yesu so no say bia o ma me ye bibi wo ye bibi na so ma me kasa o ma kasa dodo. Dititiri ma ba awa no. Na on be ma bia begina fichire hwehwe no ababa ona pie ne ma me oba na ne ma me kasa no o ma me de o kasa dodo obanyem onyem wi a ne ne so ade say wan o say ye mi hunu yanka so na wonyem sa no man Ghana say no ye ne ma ye asami ya ka akame say ye niti papa bi eda sumu so adwene ade ma ye nti no ade ne sa na say okay yes what time buying. Does it make sense for you Sabeka say obi time buying with this? Yes, say ye ho akonfo no a ye ka no a se mpanyifo adwene ba so no ye hu bibi no you don't hate the government no nyemba bi na etosi ebe ko atia ye nyina hwe na enti a meka sasem na meka ne se wonim se ukọ wagya dam yi mu a mpata gum fish so di ama mu yim ye to de yere it is a mercury egudam no mu na say apata no no mu a anasa apata ne dam ne yi a mercury wo fresh fish na kokọ wi ne mu de okọ abu akwa south a baby aduane fi ba pa aye potrase yo baby e fra ho oboase body afiri oba nya sanketwa ene ameka say body ni hobio galamse adawro manti enti de ekoso ye hunu omane ko hamu a ya de niema ya idi agro ase de sikana ne ni abria ne epa hwe ubenya wiye se japade nyina yebesi one house one hospital yebesi agenda 100 yebesi one town one big factory one way one this one that si enye nsu a aso eni so echa do pe bibisa ebu akwa south municipal assembly mo ni mu say yetu gold yetu galamsey e opotrase yetu galamsey e wo Goliath yetu galamsey wo domase ne potamu a e say de nsu na e affect a whole nipa bebre na mo nim nana no mo abu akwa mo nim say yetu gold e wo de nsu mu a bremu de yesi achenko no bremu ene bremu ye bibia enye ye enti at least anya hwe kra no ye mo de nsu mu ban keke at least ye mo de nsu mu ban keke ya tena say ma de nsu so say why are we doing this why aden na ye peso oman ni wu wo bra man ni ready so be wu Etimina commission mu nim say sa tantande na wudi sami e koso wo ho pani oda mina commission sa no woda Minister of Lands and Natural Resources woda wo deputy ono no hwe mines so mrekuduka woda wotu kana so na mo a the way environment ni say na niema say no moda do you have some fear of God in you? Nyamisro bi omumu. Nyamisro bi ewo mumu. Amonim se nyame na boss na mani nyina. Na nema ne se ya ebe tore adasama se ogana ha no. Muhunu na muhu amoda na. Anopa nyama sab na manya wu. Eye wo a hwe me no. Menu mienu nyina na yenkwada asan mu. Eti mo mian sore waka ni yoto bi se kire asen kan no kran kire yempanifo adi anim no say they are destroying the country almost sayo man no enye se bia besisi adan ena ma yeka akwan ena mesisi adan enye no na hia o if the environment you okay your people are healthy esan say die betwa o mo hia na papa nti obo ahoden enti sa wo ye ne ma bi ka ho a wa wie na be say na mani nyina na so nkrofo nyina yare a does it make sense ana me wira ho ana me di yawo esa se kame say wo ka kura na ne ye no more and phobia ho and phobia ho it's all about power to me apart from to me no yenya leaders a e wotima ma oman no yenya leaders a e wo ahofama so mbaba sumo man no yenya leaders a adwi no man da ache ho leaders yenya nyina no e ye oman kasa wo mo ye eno na hia wo mo ankanye sanka we anka ensi never oman ben na wo wiase a wo mo ye dia ye oman ben even within Africa ha within Africa, man bang your man back up, say Africa, say the go galamsey to say yes, so say a quiet. Man bang Africa, ha, or me the ye. Yes, yes, I could school him in Sapa. Man bang. Na wuka na esa de wukasa dodo yeah me say nyina abobi I'm not being a prophet of doom e kire bi ani akire bi ya ye ma ho be mfie num acha mfie di acha bro so mfie du ye bobu nkompa hwe achi ami akasa bra na branch TV so na okasa about enso so ho asemi sanke ye ne bre na nka ye nyina agi bum e kasa di tia de ekoso na anka yo sabre na walk no ena anka bia ye nyina nya adwen bi se ye nyina de ahode betumi aboa anka yo sabre na walk no ena anka mu amu wotumi e de tumi na mamo a mimi tumi enforce law no da bi dia mehunu ena maka until it box on you the authorities say we take a decision bi mbakasa enti bre o kan na nke ne bre na nke etu wana mo na nke esi ano sa bre no a anka do be edure na so ye mina commission pani na sa wokoda na so ko retirement na so de wonya osika wie enu nti otumi aso aman o man obuso fa kogwa buruchiri etumi ekra nso aburuchiri enom na the poor woman the poor man obi owe kurase a wo ni sika okosa ti bia ni mu a etoji yara na say yomo yade be western region about the effects of galamsey enkwada edi dem akwada ni bi wo ho anensa no amoamo ase ya na eketo ase obi wa nanimu fa and develop anwie obi wa nan and develop anwie akwada bi ne yemu niam mpo ni na tumi develop anwie eye sign eye sankyerene we yemu ekawa kan so peso kugya onan eye sign ebo kokosa ma say ready so kugya onan nso beto a enframabo enu ti kokobo bi ba ese ohunu nyansa ehunu sade ekeka kwai sanhwe betu de hawa breme ntese bitumi si ano ntem ansa na jinsamu ani ete ho mampa na ado betrew mini se bia na ma bebre koso awunim osaje fa mo ti ofur pani nana unana anopai me ba unan so ye wrache bi abontedom hene anopai me ba unan so me sremu samonte ya ebia anopai me kan mo beti mampani enche obekọ retirement ebra MPP election manifesto takwa de mampani say so kwa retirement a obekọ chebia kwaje na home enti be sremu se matumi anya bibiara afa ma oman mpo a wo de we yese manka se ebia munya bibio dabi mutumi anya bibia mpo a mesra mu se potrase galamse no mutu wo ho no a ese de nso no mesra se mampani na nado e jausa legacy no keke efa ma yen esansa wo ma wo koforo dua de nso no mo nom de nso ya pollute no with cyanide any mercury wabusuafo a ewon samom anodompre me mo wachi anopai. It's not about talking. Kokoti, the B is this common sense. Mampani mesraw wo me wa Ghana ne titi wo ma follow under wager a wager dam na ye no no yesraw anya hwe kura no protecting wager dam no ma ye keke nke beda wase na mpanyifo edi tumi nyina ma mo awie na moto no ma ye din na de kosoro munnim mokasa munnim adam boa Minas Commission director yi anope bi se mama wache akoso ama wache Samola bugina po anope mema wache ama wache asama wache ona bu mrekuduka anope mema wache asama wache DC ya woche bi anope mema wache na nanu ma mo ho nso ma wache empanifo mo pota mo nyina mi ma mo nyina ache mo fo mo ni kire potrase mo fo mo ni kire chebi dumase mo fo mo ni kire Goliath na de ekoso no e kire ho nsembeba Nyankopɔn te ase ɔhwe yɛ nyinaa yɛbɛbu ho akonta meda mo ase ɔkye yini ka asɛm bi ɛno na mede gya mo kwan yɛtwa ho ba a ɛna badwafo bɛhyɛ ase di nkɔmmɔ da ase.
People think success is having showing your material wealth. If you have stolen money to be successful, you're not successful. If your bank account is stained with the blood and the sweat of the poor, you're not successful. If getting up there you made other people poorer, you are not successful. If you dip your hands in the public till and expunge from it money that will build hospitals, schools, churches, pay teachers' work, build bridges, to deny a child malaria treatment, you are not successful. Future generations will not build a monument in your name.
Awia yɛda masesa motwan ya afei ebra so se hye nkoma hwehwe na ase ye kwa ne se ne ye beko gutafo ne no madi nkoma kakra dwadfo ko batan wo Ghana na afei wo maka ne no mo akasa ne nyina ne se Ghana Shippers Authority for the mra bi ne hye bi eba na san hye no mo de eba no na dwadfo kire hye enyade a eboa na se de be ye ne betwe nya mu kyirkyire mu ne mu ntiase nti no Dr. Joseph Obin na eye dwamtirani edema Ghana Union Traders Association eye guta wa man so doc na report me kan ye mo achi
eji osomira
jo doc emra ban na hwan na de mra ne ba eye mra ban a amane nyi hu
ayo Ghana Shippers Authority Act 2024 na the woman say also the Biayani Kasate your problems with the shipping line charges and only one account. In the bear affiliate training, you try say a free charges and not the form and a quaya giving it to me Biama Ghana Shippers Authority. Nanka ometimi control shipping lines and on car your free charges and a form. Into your main target and I say your main issuer. Yadi NGC yadi koto Ministry of Transport. And inti your honor acting yati say a parliament womu question na enya they to me be ama Ghana Shippers Authority. Na womu ya nation committee draft Brian nenka ye film draft Roma fa ma de detail ya nti womu de emrano parliament womu approve ma womu na dia tin ye and womu de draft no buy. Until you share 1 year ago. Now, registration, say anchor registration, WhatsApp, any anchor advanced shipment information, WhatsApp. Until now, necessary anything. Now, Linia, so what registration, no one to say now. That's a will be the cranium about my Ghana one. Say, we apply for registration. Now, you approve my na wetumi akra ne ma no wa wantimi wa register wodi ne ma beba no woni penalty down ho no eye so we be 60,000 Ghana cedis highest and now obeko jail and imprisonment say say ye di edwa na we dey say say beba because you were liberalized economy and liberalized trade liberalization. Now, what is that? Say, baby, let's say, Tasmo. Tiwamo, I will say under the registration, you know, let me revoke registration now, the amount registration certificate, you know, and I say, cancel, and I say, total rejection. Eti, Bakwaman, say, obedient the same, say, but let's say the operator one say your mouth permit and sign what can you manage. And I say, see a man special lances and son what cranium. Now, and only a cake. Me who could be as I was say, walk cranium, and see a will be a mouth permit to be say, will be to me, a this animal, and I say, to me, and farmer. Now, yes, I did a so say, well register, over could you. Tinetta and Tasmo. And your trail addresses to say, wait a permit. And yet registration be a open registration be the anya data be at the IOBB. Now we be a permit and what the so an license. Well no so the young plane MBB say must say your trade liberalization will be our konya so between a cover be or could be a cotton in your man now they should be able to say one year registration at the bar you need to do that to prison and then you share your and the bar in the year. You were parliament and you approved the car. What with the consensus now, what would they use with LI, no, area correct animal. Say, you come on, area lawyer, the non become LI, no, any to me, accident, so because accident, the number. It is a will be LI, no, yet they could check crowd people for. Management who were Shippers Authority about only like I said the chef will not get the human and not very highly. Yeah, and yes, and yeah, Marians make about that for my penny and also my penny and Nanka 1,000 from rectify that Nansana, Abaye, Masana, Abaye, Yamayan. And what you know, and on the as I say, say Yadinama, but young fat documents here, what a young man before sending money, but young fat information in our realm. And now, and also the chair, so Sobekaya Bakabra, some turn the Omodi Adibi by a friend Ashi, advanced shipment information. You confirm the time, or yes, somebody by what the trouble done in our teaching. We didn't Emma, the dictator on that. And no, almost established. It's all no, and like I said, as that information opening now, you have more customs and you have more items. Would you be as a super authority? They say, the formal and I say important over the money. Now, what they are not that layer of cost of doing business. That's a put this facilitation. Now, what has come from information, customs for information, and the items information. The information they are not regarding that you can collect from these institutions. Now, what the would you be away in the new relevance? And I know, if you are more to the Elano, the currency. Now, all men, you say, one share them, and the infantry will be so the elder, they are good enough. What you do, anything, yet you have to market anything. One chance, no more woman yet corrections and son of this I was saying.
Doc, young share say, you can say be obi crania madia bar. Yen say nipa de do baby asodinti. Obi abetuna sora kra bibia kekede aba. Enti no se koma say bia omo de emre bi ba sase o. Ansa oba crania ma no, beji tumi say we na me kra de aba, we na me kra de aba. Eno emwa emma system no enye ni de beboa yen. Asi se be jaguma no bia kra bibia de aba keke. Eno na ha adwene bebre.
Ti wa no dear track record and a walk on Mary say, undertake the transition, any other job. Also, to be about it, oh, and Modi will be there, but Modi to do be there, but Modi, Adriane, Niama, here, and we have 50 million. Would you record be a no problem back? And to sell also Minister of Faith, or Moka say, and more year trade restriction. Only your policy of state. So, and Yama winning Yama wino. Yama Momba, only you communicated to you. They are support Motama Mofama. Me part of what you say.
Yeah.
It's your dear, young person, Yadiba Panadi, under the policy of state. Say, Nazomoka say, import sufficiency, or list to be by, to no, say, Juma. There's a tiny amount of lithium in Nano, Okra, wants me for months. I don't know, anyway, with the check of the Ampacho.
Yeah, she say, yeah, one more day bay. More one more day co parliament. I can't say, I'm paid in Sabasha Sekeke. Now, answer on the co parliament, more as a dreadful no. More who say, I didn't womu. I am one more. I'm a man raising consensus, Abreno. A pepper say, parliament, Agya Tumo, Amanako Drum and Penny anyway.
No, the parliament, it may hint. The parliamentarians to be fair, that we not the paying. Now, what the say, fair, cheapest authority say, that it is a draft, I'm a stakeholders reaction. Mama, it's more for Emra. May you Tama want to marry and send approve the previous day. The Apatana, now person would be BAC when you approve, and I'll be you want to matter. And so, I'm going to come. I want so, like I say, and tell you, but now a quite be also known, the yes, you are, and you know, except what me, as a creme, now, my penny, the sign, and was saying.
Ati sabre ya Mushada ente humpupuye biye yi den na mo ye de afa mo de nkrata akoma mampani ama mo hu se ne saka
o mampani o se obotibie wo trade facilitation mu ade bia be pensibie se wo dija na was documentation se no nkika ho afina wo de you wo kwaje approve na se wo kwaje registration certificate bi any acquisition for no see the market and from now it is getting so bit here in your friendly trade facilitation a time cost and ease of doing business. That way, the trade facilitation. And it's one company, the consider, and it will bring another layer of frustration to doing business. No, because I and yes, they are acting in Nana, more Monsai, as one correctly, now, one more, Tumia, as he had the moment, no to me, this is a shipping line, it's me and Yami.
Asa meja kwama wakono wo hwe said say moje de hye tie ebrebia broadcast mutayi so no say it's very expensive to do business in Ghana. It's very costly to do business in Ghana. Say no niema ekosan say niema ba fam kakra mamo say mo hotumi ahenha mo moje de amudi hu ana.
You want say business is a thrive on stable environment. And it is stability now. And not the Yana especially local currency, it meets now for a longer time and no boy. Now, the Yana a high cost of doing business, taxes, the afford will be so coupled to different forms of taxes. And in Yama Yetiano, another day, and Avutina, Yetinano. Now, I think, and political parties, more every manifesto committee by yes, the idea was 20-point agenda there. You did 2 women naming. You would say, ask Sumuka, say, would say, a management, you who name a crowd on a unity. Woman, we was a flat rate system, we was a fixed tax system. The TV as a matter masum as the say, this is ever now. Yetini ya ebi afia de enimi ebi ana omo betiti yeto so amana yenso yetini aye enyuma am ye ho asoje.
Dr. Joseph Obiano pay yada wase papa na wo mre. Ora Joseph Obi en na ye guta dwam tenani na sansem adwadfo ku bata ba konso ku ba konso tag fo nso e de ho krata ababonte minim se bia won so de bia gutafo gina ho no mu gina so mo ba bi fofora kodwa mo aten ena dwam training edmata kodwa no pay memo achi so kodwa ntumi enyina ahoma no so hwe se kodwa timi ka ma achi
ya mejozo
yo ye ne Dr. Joseph Obi akasa no pay ama omo ha omo wo Ghana Shippers Authority Act na say mra na omo de ba no wa kire omo adwene say emmoamo Most of the Amujana Mujana, some also different angle neighbor.
Yeah, my for physical season, I mean, Ghana before the teacher a tag Emma. Yeah, and Yama Shippers Authority at the Benina shoe. At the end or more, a ye the phone or more Yama. Now, Mray Benina, and Penufone Yatanase. Ama ye di input aba ama sesi akra no ye gusu a ye stakeholders engagement a ne ye ha ye nyina no ye gusu a ye ka kire Shippers Authority for eja ye na me ne okra ye sa de we interview da ya ye ka se Shippers Authority for mra no eye emra entimi invite entino e what ye amendment Beya, almost between us original woman also. No money shipping lines are almost ACCN, Messi, SCN. And now in 1974, 50 years. I say now, Yame, I'm boyania, yen so, Yenya Shippers Authority say, almost a year, you ma, a Bob Wayen. Aja, Minoka say, okay, Mombasa. Almost Shippers Authority, acting your final next line. Ewo eka wa budget for amene wotua hwe Togo super lines do Togo charges bi o muntu charge no o mbedru Ghana o charge but because Shippers Authority mra no 1974 nentimi enisia edebekandi no na yete ho the cost of doing business na de bia ye ka se wosoro no Nina bebre ni jina shipping line unfair charges almost charge Ghana for Togo kro mu ntumi charge eja esi den na makota chimai makoto bayire na o de guke mu say wo de bayire bedu nka ha o je me 5,000 na wo de bayire bedu mokola na mi bayira ye no so sa charge me na mafa me nko fo mu yi me bayire o ye sa charge me some charges are and ya charge any ya fresh person authorities and then almost now the good thing is this is a CEO all pretty open door policy. Me no can say ye ni na sia several times baby ana ye fees oh emre ya ha no mo de nka mo ye ni say ya because emre no mo ya man anka babua such charges so such registrations so yeah they are doing it and ya dey say ye wie enti no so wo ye stakeholder na so wo how bia civil authority na omo ye mra na maye omo bia omo pro ye gusu na omo ye engagement yan dey ye ka tro mampanyin say ye wie engagement ni nyina law no mo ma dey nti so on sign ye ntimi ntra wo men na Togo kutoa we next line do Togo a charges a won't mean charge Togo for no Obagana no be charge aden it is the cost of doing business no say civil authority mra we ama antimi sa separate lines na nsie ni na obi akofa no container aba ebi won ma ko Togo e ma 21 days Obagana no ma 7 days uko Togo timi ma 21 days aden na Ghana de mo ba mo 7 days it is demorrages a year eja every year Ghana ye trade demorrage nko ebi won ma $840 million and ma sa supreme lines o mo mu de ko emra we be ma local content ama wo supreme line no won tumi ko fa wo krom ni metna Ghana ha say on na eme yo local manager na yet wo men yan Ghana ya ma sum dua ba wo men mu a na wo ye supreme line ye wo expertise ni bi wa ha o for local content o for local personnel no ma yi wo dwuma ma wono wo no akofo no krom for bugu ya no mo etua o mo ka dollars sa nye ma we nyina no emra we beba abema Ghana fo a o mo so akọ school ya o mo ni maritime duties o mo so dwuma benye dwuma di biaye 80 years ya wo how no table no so na ye dotting the i's and crossing the t's. If you want to raise a superior argument, come back to the dialogue table. And I will be a question be. And way before Parliament, there were consultations. A copy, Argentina, and way by no. To bend the decay on congratulate the civil authority there. On my ideas of my passes are low. So why do you think? Yeah, Niana ye how no ye Omaji aye amendment say ebe top president table so president and sign na to go we entimi next line en kontokwa na Ghana de omo ba omo betwa fa yen so the cost of doing business the person perform there then we should accept this airline
na chese bebia mu gina na bebia gutafo gina no sunsu kakra wo mu ana
obanya ayi eja kwabra ye de emra we ba ye no ye ne your lawyers etnase any your policy directors any your research team omo back taxes in this animal we are levies omo ekata eboaye ye hwe mu no eniema na ye hwa M1 na make a choice say you see we say ene ma ye pass a law no omo congratulate the civil authority for passing this law na say CIA say U10 as I issue try to say president should not assent. You hear a statement now. You say president won't scrutinize the document on sign because the cost of doing business, should this act come into force, ever reduce the cost of doing business now, they be a year soon. Because you in Kotogo and for 21 days. Now you're Magana may 7 days. You me $840 million. Right? I got your kind of loan. IMF na you call and you $3 billion. Now, if a year. Demurrage inquire $840 million. Now the time to 7 years ya buying by ya and more $3 billion never jail. Now Casasica way you know or mine gun the moi. Casasica way a woman gun the moi. I can't hear. I don't think I am traders advocacy group no. Yakacha Shippers Authority say they should even go further. No more engage Ghana for businessmen. They say you are penny or self army despite in your police upon. Now almost see Agya a friend container village. It is a shipping line now on the also on my end to go for 21 days in Ibi. November 7 days to Krana. Backup 2 days I'm on Nema for Demorija. Yen yourself army no see container village. Then you container no and alcohol no almost keep you. Now self army despite like I say. Such shipping line bet you $100 a day dear. Maybe you can any Oma 300 cities crowd magic. Naja. Single room self-contained crowd, but some are just saying. Now, we contain a put to a seaport. Say, once the meal to duty, now one day, but also I had $100. It is a whole table of discussion. Wow, well, prefer solutions. And it's not every day that we will throw our hands into despair. It's young target for your more solutions. And the about boy, better lessen the burdens of our members. After depending in Yama, but when you a new container of Krana, Yama Ghana for container village, Ghanaian, and your foreigner. Now, you container, no Yama Poku, South container village, yo. Now, counter a beer, a day, piano, Petro, 500 Ghana cities, and now 300 Ghana cities. Yeah, no, it will not be in dollars. 2, the money will remain in the country. Now, so your money. Young yourself, that's right, no more. And a businessman to me as I am away. And yes, you know when the big man almost come almost with my ship will be. You should look out to the bigger picture.
Okay.
Now, you say, be no selfish interest in, you know, and my papa say, Bob Ghana for against foreigners, you know, you know, no more. Now, you can't answer with.
Minimum say, bad idea. Munina, move follow under the same, Shishaya Daho, Amudi Juma. Gutafo ejinasi nko ewo saa emra kro no a na adwuma kro no a moye no enko ena monso de enso enko enti na se ko mienu ne so obi ane na adwene ewo saa mra na eba no ho de enti na se ba saa am ebia munyina mo beko bankro mu se emra ni se netie utie Dr. Bian asemo kan ne se ade a ekoba se bia wo kase obi register ansa na ebia wotumi aba be kraniema na kame se onipa no wo mano license anaso money to me so nko ebi etisa na so nipa na to me an license anyi to me no na so kokra ne na ye bo ne ka ye bo ne ka na so wotumi antua so a ye de ne batum ho no so no muhunu ne sign as tag for mo so mo ne guta for kure yan so mo ye adwuma kro no
eja me da supply your question here bisam eja mo TV food advert anase medicine advert ben na mabwa enye vetted and approved by FDA. How many times what is FDA dun ko fokotun? Enti ye ko ye nim ewo ewiasem database hu hia se o ye se ye me register ansa na wakoka enye ne ne be sa de no go to FDA obi a okra oil obi a okra sardine obi a okra mo obi a okra drobiano o register
na fe
registration
na wa register the company we say adwuma me the company ni ye nie na for registration ban bi na so san ko register bi wo ansa na wotu akra man ya aba
eja se wo ko FDA say a wa register say e bi a wo ton sardine na so register wo company now person all the sardine na cooking oil ba wo ko for registration wo ko me register ama nyama na wo dey ba no wo di bi beba sample beba me test ye testing wi a factory na o muta ne ma na ma wono wo importer no wo the FDA for rep beko ho ama o makohwe se ne ma na ye dey ba no ye ne ma Ghana for pedi a ebebo a o mapomudi a na mo o mapomudi fre wo bia oka enuro oka ayi ne consumables se sa ne ma making me bo ana se me moa entiade na a portion of businessmen and women omo ne ma ba ye mo register now also so yes near man what they ban register You say near man what they ban near my papa. Why? If you think say near man what they ban near my papa, why are you afraid of register? Name secretary, the cables or the bar. Because when you say cable near papa, registration via standard authority cars on you know. Why yes? You know, yeah, go ahead, you say or my mono. Now yeah, practices no. Say if you so yeah, the day you know, na yeah the info. Me near me deba. It has gone through that registration. And you know, Sanya way in I was in a Ghana Hano. That Ben wanted to say FDA for Ubi as a corporate register near you and go FDA in Nakoto. And so I near me one ma a boy. Said by ya, said the young for near Makoto Kuma Biama or mine.
And Kwajo Summit was a consumable, so now most to say, as I said, Unipano permit no. Essence spare parts we send me to Kwaje permit send me crash papers aba. Ana
Agya entino ye no kwa na nke hian ade a wo de be seke mu a wo de ebi a memfa se VIP bus na se nkempo ye no kwa nka ho ba nkempo se ye se be permit na ka spare parts a wo de ko seke mu a enipa be 30 40 home na ye hu sa de na wo de ba na ye papa agya nka ento mu
na no me the sample na call FDA efase bro ni wa wu na mekra spare parts na mekra enye aduan ade aye di enti sa empaboa na mekra kojo okra mpaboa e bia me so be kra mpaboa na mpaboa na me kokra no me di bia call FDA FDA fonhwe na say Ghana Standard Authority fonhwe na basan di bia call so be possible sir
eja eniema na omo kan nyina no yes am say woni edi nko wo we ba igedi mu a da bia no wo no wo wa time a wo de eboa ma ye kan igedi fo asem nyenso so no ni nyina no we dey stretch issues no by a good example so ye na nia Cyprus authority ye enye sa kra hell data hu here because they say as a Cyprus authority officer oye niema boa Cyprus authority ain't no more. And you get a importers and shippers. Yenny import and export. You ain't no more. And the Cyprus authority pursue net data. Yeah, Obey and the members in it. It is a big ground or advocate on our behalf. Say be a facility be no upper my say be no you say a charges you data pay and an unfinance human. And then Obey in the character is just like media. Munim mo membership mo personal mo ye mama mo munim ni parodo munim because mo data and you can say be register never be bibra registration in say ade do ko be say ma won fama I will register me and say indeed you are a member and you know minim and I jam say busa nkofo na no mo ye dede ni say it is an way in an omunim. Adentina almost a congratulating Cyprus authority say, Oma pass law we. Because you were consulted. You brought your ideas to the table. Almost what ideas are the quiet to be almost fine. You know, why are you not talking about that? It's about time the country moves forward.
Okay.
Yeah, they say the statement and the president is shame. Now, when say near mana a woman in I never bob way dia. President should go ahead and sign.
Okay. Kwajo de me dance na me ja kwa ama wako na ye nyire ni musu se register of companies nso kokko ho a ye behu no number of companies and say individuals wo mo register say me krania ma we krania ma we. It wo de me fancy ya e kire be san be bio.
Register of company they go be register but we are talking about shippers.
Okay.
Import and export asem na ye ka.
Okay. All right. Kwajo me dance.
Baba na yamisra.
Koja Martin and Adwamtreni Edema Traders Advocacy Group Ghana tag wono ena wodano yene Dr. Joseph Obin ekasa yansa na yene kwadwonso ekasa enano pe nti anai ye be hyase ane sa na bedwofo ibiaba na andi sama yoku no so ye nyina enim se ne ena omo manifesto no womo eda na die ewo winiba ewo mfimfim mantem nti biripam ya na musifo ho no ye no be din kom na hwese wo ma ho boa akokosi sen niema mo tototo no niema kwose de sisi kwesan se utie se de omde hye ne ban na duba ko anaache duminu na bomo ebe hyase ti ye be ko ho biripam na fe ye de ho amane bo abreye abremu nyina awie anopa yi ye bedi komo ne komo ebedie no ade ba ko a ewo Ghana ha eno na ma Ghana gidin ye pa koko ye nyina nim say water cup of kasa be cocoa syndicated loan ye kwaje besia ne da beto cocoa no na ya ton sa na ye behwe se cocoa industry no ejina san esan se oninyafo boahin edu ono CEO adema cocoa board kire se 2024-2025 cocoa season you know yen kwaje syndicated loan bia emfa mabiu na muni yesika na ye de beto ena minority so say masa asema aka no boa ya brobusia wo wiase aba mansadwa so ayese ne ho ayehi ye boy ntumi ntua enu nya de a ye kwa enya bisan bia bio enu ntira ena omo so sida bia yesa na tie na ye behwe last 2 years ye kwaje bisan do se ne nyaye last year cocoa season ne ye pa bisan do se ne nyaye this year cocoa season bisan do se ne ye hwehwe do se nso ene ye nyaye and ye bebu nkuntane abu nkompa hwe echi kakra hwe se cocoa board aso wo boka anase wo moka na date se cocoa board e boka wo bere akwaje besia na wo de beto ade no na wo san boka e wo ho ni nyina yense wo ebedi ho komo na anopai esane se eye asemhia cocoa industry no egu anase jane nanso na fe endi sama ekono so kire se eye peace pact asundwa pam a befa mfimpi mienu ne aduonu na aba beto no on fam sanhya se esan se niema bako mienu miensa bi wo ho mususu se se etumi hwe ne siesie ansana ye bekọ enim yakọ enim ebinim se enfa nya sembebre ye bedi ho komo now what is happening wo Minister of Youth for Sports efa Ghana na nsenya all African Games ye no according to sources no say accreditation wo kwa dwumade bi na ye nsantwe journalist ye ma accreditation ibi na sen wo mu say we media na wo ko yes ye de sika $4.3 million and yes accreditation aduane ye noa ede ma athletes e ba ye no eye $50 million nsem epiepie ba no bomu a so plan niema ade ma akansie no kra no bepiem nne dodo na yenti omoka enti budget na parliament peneso na wondema ministry no sika no ewo he ebedi hu nkoma GBC ne minister ne de no so no eno so ebedi hu enkomo woman Ghana ye japade kese bako pa ewo UK sisi ye kasa yi adwumako bi efa adan ye deka ye ka na ye de ntumi ntua na sa adwumako no ye de omo kesa agreement bi ene omo koye no ye agreement ni etwamu ana omo de ye court omo de ye koye no san kese so man Ghana lawyer for di asam n'echi no ye tonsa frɛ yen yanko ayese wabu court animtia empire no so yanko court ena mo sɛ ma de a ene asam de bebua in absentia mu ni won so ye bebu asam no on bu asam no mo se enkutua sika ano so I think $34 million ye nya ntwenti no ye japade wo UK dan kakra kapa adwumako no efa ye bebi sase oman attorney general ne mpanyifo no mo we omo so mo de message summon so no se enka ne saa ebe see foreign ministry so aso foreign ministry sakan ama edane officer na eda officer na so mo de come attorney general so ye e no manya hu bibia ayasem ebedi hu komo ye papa person se Ghana we are bleeding pa we need some would be na no pay ye bedi hu enkom na ene abejafo be kamensa kokoko kwani ba ono akso sando kokoko na eto hu sam so abeska sam so waben nti ne bebu akonta pa fa kokoko hu pa set oforuchumasi wa set akwaba bia boko last year friend ne Burkina Faso for Burkina Faso ni abiro wo mo serious country wo mo ni abre papa ye ka say wo mo be factory kakraka a tin tomatoes wo mo ye nti tomatoes ni ye do fi oba no kwan hwe kra bia as time goes on ye sent to me enkabio they are serious country yes and afa mi benkum so Alfred Kojo Thompson oka MPP communication team no no kro ya so enka ne deputy managing director edema NIB National Investment Bank. Could you acquire? Man, we need any here me pa.
No two coin also Okojina.
Okojina uncle home, wabre, Onkojina home in a pressure, no crowd Ghana had to.
Then pressure no. Pressure ni baby. Pressure ni baby.
That's all more, yeah, to me accommodate him, yeah, I'm ranting. Which will be than pressure. So, Sika will be usable a pressure. Until Uncle Kakran on home in a pressure, all is this cow. Obey, Omre. No, Sane, who yanning you who yanning you be I can bring out TV won't share some baby or more honus, be baby defend it. Yeah, or TV so she say, oh, be hammy. Ma may have no banana swording. Yeah, too much, yeah, share. Cocoa industry. And then, yeah, the statistics be baba. Ni na wo aye beken kan na ye ma ye tiefo ani ahwefo ehunu bibia cocoa industry no wo owura bo ahene du beka say bi say e shase some time back say cocoa bodo e boka ana cocoa bodo moka bia ye moka bia cocoa bodo jina na nso cocoa bodo ye say abepem na ye ka say ye de hu sam nyina baba na ye hwe wo hwe cocoa industry as we speak it will saying and then owura bo ahene do say ye sa cocoa syndicated loan no anya de e ba cocoa bi na mu no yen ya esika na ye de ba beto cocoa no sa esika ya esika no ye ko fa ne he
Kwabena mamen fa kwanya ya nchia
ya ma 10 minutes
na menchia UTV atifo ne ahwefo nyina ene menua no ma na me no mu di cocoa pa say kwa adopa eno na ne de boa me wo prempe nyina na na me di boa wo school fees adopa no ya don crofo cocoa as enti wo twen cocoa bre ni du a wo ni cocoa no cocoa mre ni du a na wo ji usika enti wo so cocoa dia na wo de boa nkakra no eja Kwabena ho se ye kan cocoa asema yanya ebia ye tena ba bia ye cocoa na ye won kran ene ni mpatam no pase ye hwe bibi ni eti ase Kwabena the value chain e wo cocoa no eso chain bibi e wo Ghana unim se Kwabena yon krofo a omudwuma omuye nyina ne se omuye cocoa nursery me kai se in the year 2000 ho afi na ma no be ba prempe Kwabena ni ana me ye nyina ne se ye na si cocoa ebedu akwa sabre ya ye tuko ye wo mo a omudwuma a omoye no eye cocoa kua se odo ni cocoa ye onkrofo ane de ye cocoa caretaker hwesuni ya ye woni ane de te se ye wo license buying companies na empo e wo license buying companies ni mu no ye wo purchasing clerks o mudwumadie no esombuye ye yi we mu nyina free wa ye mfa oman se oman Ghana nneoma kese miensa eboa yen ewo ye nneoma ye de kwa manone ye si ye wo gold ye wo oil na ye wo cocoa na nneoma miensa nyina no cocoa pe na ne ye be kwa akoton ni nyina aba Ghana gold ene oil ne ye be kwa akoton no ne ye ba Ghana no e less than 30%. And now, beyond the cocoa, ne economic way na ema ye nyina no, ye nhwe employment. O ye nhwehwemu a employment a cocoa value chain edema no. Aye be say 2 million. Cocoa value chain no. Nkrofo a emo mo adwuma. Ye see cocoa akuafo nko a almost 1 million. Enne ye hwe omo a omo dane cocoa ani omo ye in various forms. Omo ye more than 10 companies. We join the job creation na enafo. Ye di we nyina eto akire no. Ghana ye wanimonyam soronko. Enam cocoa nti. So obi bo Ghana din a ye kai hunu se Ghana de cocoa ama ya gidin. But eya de eya me ya kakra ene se there is aspect of tourism ewo cocoa mu a Ghana yenhwe na me ne me wife din komo na yetwa mu wo tetekwashi interchange eja Kwabena wo tetekwashi ade ba utiri mu ne se cocoa and so wotwa mu ho no ma won say ya dua flowers anything apart from cocoa na omenko Ivory Coast da but omko Ivory Coast say we do Ivory Coast on the street no ye dua cocoa enti obi anim say oman we there wo ba mu a anye den kura wo hunu cocoa da eja Kwabena obi betena nkran awu onkran ha a ohun cocoa da
nkran bi a meka yesusa na omo ba o se cocoa na omo akra ha na omo ba village e o chebi do ase na omo ba na obi se cocoa yetu ana se ye ne den ti ko omo fese cocoa kra asase ase na hye
eja Kwabena hom enti anka me da bia me dwene se be ye fe se Ministry of Tourism anka omo ye at least tata kwa hye asumpa o be wo 100 trees mpa hybrid type a enyini nko kese obi hunu cocoa da oduru ho no ma as a tourist form bi so obe kwa akohwe cocoa eni bibi sa anka beboa eja Kwabena yemfa we ento nchen na afei yenhwe ni a esi ewo cocoa industry be se na wotwi mu ayi na Boahedu CEO so no so firi akura se de mi firi ya ba bi omudua cocoa ewo wasa amanfin empatem na ode betu dwa but before so ode betu dwa no me say be 2 weeks and 3 weeks ago ya ba ha ma make can be say afi the chances say ye nya sika from cocoa syndicated loan no ye be to say 90%. Emma ye be kan because na finance minister aka ekwan ya na offer so e dey hold the city. Emma me can say the first half of the year I am to me hold the city no. Say ya hwe ni year the second half city be comrika achen Usain Bolt because na all the major factors na eboa yen I don't call them natural factors, they are artificial. Oh, and they will create the whole city no. Some factors in the no, it happened in the first half of the year, January to June. For the first time, our cocoa syndicated loan, a better Bank of Ghana account na yawo afifu from. Eti ya can say this year, near ye remu no, abaya den. Say obi ebe maisika. Number 2. Near ye ye contractor ye sign ye tika ye last year. Still ye dika. Eti sika bi e pese ye koji bia no. Si ye koji mpo a e kada ye nim. Number 3. Even though say cocoa ne produce no ebe cost stroke akra this year because of factors are ewie hu. And me de bia e ho na me da. Me nko 1 week or 2. Me nko cocoa afuom because I know ye one of my main source of income. Enti me we ne a ekoso na e better. Ene said the cocoa board e manage cocoa. That problem say last year for cocoa anye ye no among all other factors a major way na if cocoa board. We can't tell time omudi nro bae. O time omudi some support adabia e ba ni timely. Time omudi bae a na owire be ho. Na twam. Enti this year to be honest cocoa inputs ni nyina omudi support no about timely. Enti with that timely intervention no you expect say cocoa ebe ye. On the back of it the cocoa price a cost ro. Enti farmers bia na about 80% of farmers abamabu for cocoa but price ne cost ro no obi ana ne de aka nwura mu bia no try say obekọ akododo ho ayiye ho amana yeye. Yam fine no so nto. That's the plus cocoa board aboa. Eja Kwabena one of the things me mpese meka akoduru ni a ye di hu nkomo ya menka ene say cocoa board ye bibia ehu na ya hwe ni ya ediyo ni beba won say ye the cocoa rehabilitation program eba the cocoa rehabilitation ne say ye cocoa bebre asay e free akate ye friend solid shoot ene anonom a ye kan say black pod eba na cocoa no nya se bibi na aye no eya na pod ne ho abaye tuntum na sa brand cocoa ni nyini ye aye tuntum no na kosoro aye te say cancer enti spread e be ko na cocoa be hu sa so obeye all other things na ewie a be ko na cocoa ni nyina asai ye ho ye ta frɛ no kusukuku eze cocoa ni mu aye tum enti na ema pod na isai enti eno so na edinya enti ye try go ye program na say ye beboa cocoa farmer no for 3 years ye twa cocoa gu a ye be ma compensation kakra na ya ma nursery na ya ma body plantain suckers a ye de betiti cocoa no bodoba no na ye wi a afi bia no ye bedo cocoa afo na ye tete no ho enan every quarter bia ye bedo ho na ye do ho no the policy ne say wo cocoa farmer wo betimi ado afuo ho a aban berin bezel
ne say odo a apafo sika na sanka aban ni tua
eka no odbe ma okay ana say wo ntumi ndo ho a kronimu emaburu na ewo mu no ya fa bi omo aye te say gang te say de ye cocoa ma spray no me cocoa ma spray bo a me pa na me one of the gang members di ko spray cocoa ni ajiska enti omo ko na omo akodom na omo so abanya ti omo ka me ne wo ka say afiwe first batch 3 years no ya release omo cocoa ama omo well done the second batch omo so anka afiwe ebe so no na omo anya omo third year no last January cocoa board say sa cocoa no a odo ho enan no afei obedo ho baako adeti I mean me hu say cocoa board betima kirem wo ne mripa mu frɛ mo na bison enti ye cocoa akuafo a na nka odo ni cocoa no 2 acres but enam say aban ebo anti no omutumi do be te say 5 acres ono ana ho oden entumi cover 5 acres but ene wakodo 5 acres wugya ne mu no a wo do ho baako no 3 na aka no kai unu se ni kokwa fuo na nka ode igbo kokko ne ho bra no ye twa agu enti wo do baako no aka 3 ya ese so odo
ano sika no we
enti sika ne we ode be do wantumi ano a abaya dwuma a waye ni nyina no ebe ye cost 90 kokko ne be ka fuo kokko nte sa abe mfuye wo ho mpo a ebenyini kokko esuro mfuye number 2 kokko na adi 1 year no aban say ana cocoa board say instead of 4 times no odo ho 2 times cocoa farmer no ono so moa ne ho with 2 ye nim say cocoa farmer that na ya money compensation it came because you say we livelihood no na ya twa agu cocoa ni be take 3 years ansa na bisa so enti na sa cocoa farmer ya twa ni cocoa agu ne ho a kire no aban say obedo mu 2 instead of 4 ye dey agreed because me jidi say ka kire cocoa farmer bia say wafuo no ye bedo ho wa na o ma wuntwa obi a odibedua rubber ana odibedua abe but ye agree ye tena say ye nhihye by kamia ye say cocoa farmer oni kamafo obi nka bi ma no enti ne ho kire na ne ho a kire no Agya Kwabena ya hwe ne yi a ebeba be ha ye now ye nko syndicated loan Agya Kwabena ye ka say syndicated loan
to say we dey ma watu aso na we dey di twam mesemu amofa nchame atorenche bi asi wo baby na we dey breaking news ye ka ne saa ani say ye nunu bi akoka nsuo so na de to makoka nsuo no so no am say anu enyan kakra enti ye bekọ ama no so na oba oti nsuo no so ne ne ka say Samson awua Samson what me kan marching.
Oh, okay. So how to ya I don't do haro. Maybe I'm not we come but me can video. What about not say myself.
ebi na to we no mu nti ese no omo wo ensuo no so a wo mutumi nko omo so mutumi mma na omo gire ensuo no so aha we afade o teme nka Same o teme nka
Batero metonga.
Mo why there ye hwe video bi ahefa na mo wopoten.
Sesia no ka be opoti pa de meka pa mi ntumi na mo me planto no wo fando toko ye ko amedeke. But Andra 4 PM ana engine break here. Ye tinsu sa na win ni blow yan to different direction. So now I think some men say silver boat bi aba to yen. But you be able to put in there. Mean to mean to be able to put in.
What and brebe na munya what's munya and brebe na munya problem no.
Enya problem no some 15 minutes to 4.
I see. Na nanka mo fa boat na mo free for the mo kwa infa.
Bando top up.
Okay. Nanka take how long asamado bibi amoko no.
But according to research, what is 2 hours? Near to America. Now, say, what I'll call or don't cook about vicinity. What's your answer?
If you run on 4 o'clock, we are no Martin and Son Sabbath Sabri.
If I tell you, in them on 9 and then in the manner, police marine bar, working on the body. And other boats leading so around 2 by, but watching I went me and because of now, we do not know what thing. The different agenda was a plantation so a song. With a plantation so a song. To me, and we're quite free up 9-10. Things there, no, you're stuck at the young wounded blue for different directions. Yes, I think I was 2 years. So the with the air.
And they say no boats, no engine as no mutumin repair. And now. Say towing boat between the tow no so no mutumi ento nti muda so gina bibia mu gina na
but according to me by na some research we can here one say we ya wo our plant in the new ha 300 horsepower nti me no 600 nti according to one wa na wa na water from no we see na ba ko na e but get it to 4 years na no wa say nti no say the one su ba ko no sa ane age ne ho no
hey and not until say one mo be siesie engine no ana so benya towing boat for be tow no mo da so gina so no so sa
e da so gina so no so sa e sia na silver boat bia ba etwe se obetum pa twen de akode a egusu mu ma etwe ko akra but e sia na da so wo ni me ruka ye wo nkita compass bia me phone kura dum de say yam kwa na me be gina so ame de ka say e phone wadum
wow na nipa wo mu doso na emma ne nkwara ne nipa wo mu doso
nipa wo mu doso we be more than 100 and Coladoso. And in fact, in Bilmium Sheen, at the end, I say, okay, you. When we say conduct about around the business, all kind of business, if you understand, I think, where to do on say, or more than any you. I don't know. And see how I pour. The pure town is car, something to water. And I say, I drink a while, so you have to on more than on outside. I'm a full ship, young girls to be a more. I'm a phone now. If you want any to them, at least there will be an emergency on them. Also, the men could be a clinic beyond Sunia, Sabi, with my son, and I always do not remember with my share, say, Rebecca, who wouldn't walk hospital. Do you how are you, Muhammad? And read our womb. The friends I hear, Lambering Adama.
Me who said cars ne and near my chest and near my boat to the mono at Dorsopa.
And then also a bag of rice more than 100 and an audio could for gallon yellow and also and a car a the car and also the car no and one pickup and one Corolla and a motor tray. But apart from that, in a goose in a room and more plumbing pipe and some oil in a gallons.
Say no captain I catch them so munya bo trouble no makasa say munya bo che no mo twem de mo akọ
oni akasa ba na ya relation wo mu na because we ba some of the different thing oba but now the ba famba I eche me no ka say ekuti a eche
I see
yeah say nambe adum edu your destination now.
Solo yenyina Samson yenyina dem pa bobo time wachi no de makudu jojo why bibia ni so a ye be samba ho bio
me ba chonya mi chira best fight
yo na ka kire wo mu a eti boat no nyina say ye time wachi on pa bobo why na ready de mbodu yo Babranche ni ka say friend Solomon awua boat o mote so aye panto no mote so no aka nso no so esanse boat na moto na ebe ma boat na ko na sei nti omo aka nso no so fie nra awia no nan ebe pim sa brom da so gire nso no so a enframa bob patapata nso mo na musa nti wo so mo twe ne kakra hwe se ebetumi do akọ nso na ja bebi omo kwa na ye bon pese rade do be kwa akokudu asundwe so ne akwakote asa boni bia ye bon pipe chuma se we de sorry na ye impofiri mutina sa na se ye na no nti pacho koma me
nti Kwabena na e ba cocoa syndicated loan no na he kan se cocoa syndicated loan na ye koje no Kwabena e wo akwa mienu eboa o man yi e wo bibia eye bia no e wo ni pros and cons ni eboa ene de emwa number 1 for years ye forex and say ye dollar cedi ho asemu cocoa bosia ye koje ne memfa ne se aboa bok edeba no da bia no oman eno ene ede esiesie ho se wokaya mri a atwam na cocoa board ewo under Ministry of Finance and under Ministry of Finance because of the syndicated loan probably ana yeba under Nanado ababumu and now moving no from Ministry of Finance to Ministry of Agri because me say maybe we looking at the production of cocoa rather than the financing and now yede eye adwuma ba every bia no so we tie finance minister about 2 say months ago now kan enhihia yede agu kwan mu yede consider na the major item okan ye number 1 cocoa syndicated loan around September October eda and if obinim financing of cocoa Ghana wunnim nchen the finance minister yenim say around March all the way to June anya den kra no yete mini document no but yete say there has been series of proposal to various banks efa sika ebenya for cocoa syndicated loan enunti na ebia finance minister pogina so e de kire ne hihye a oye e de akon cedi dollar no say cocoa syndicated loan e kan ho last year you have a problem with syndicated loan e buy no we had to resort to omoto no mother companies say omomoa and me assume too much but one of the crisis exposing PBC Agya Kwabena was the approach of last year financing Kayunu say PBC near or rely on a completely loan and a supporter cocoa board at the Bemano at the Atokoko because this indicated loan now or chairman license buying companies no more the Atokoko no more the Abreno until last year ba say sika eniho bosian MI until license buying companies mo finance 400 million yeah we hear 800 million aba men jin this Kagel ebekwa akoje ne mother company be bre ni sika na odi abre odi akoma PBC oye ne competitor on farmer no nti PBC te ho twen cocoa board de ne ba na cocoa atwam this year before the announcement no and I tell say still cocoa board akọ back to sa partners say omomwa in raising funds na yem fan to cocoa and before that all these major partners nyina no ye de omuka ye de cocoa board de ka cocoa board edu omuka because finance no omo last year no yentumi yentua ye
na saskare koji ye no si anfa to kuku ade na de ye
Kwabena hu say utie the World Bank eba be kan ye na obekire ye say nneoma bi ana ye ewo cocoa mu no na enye the core business example eye cocoa roast nti ye gisika na ye de akowura ho and utie from cocoa board ankasa before syndicated loan ba ekoja finance ministry for a very long time mo de ye ade ss o mo de ye to them ebi ehiansa no mo release aba me kai se etumiti cocoa ya ton cocoa ya to nanso akatua ema because almost you PC asem o kan na say sika mai na sika na ya de foforo it is maybe one of them and that be sika bosia ekoje no a portion na ekoto cocoa enka ya aka ni nyina no ye de ye nnwuma ahodo a megidi say cocoa board ebetimi a kire mu in due time and it say ya no all the major players na ye di sika wo mo ho me nka bosia ekoje ye o ye mo amdu o musika to cocoa ba no ye do omoka te say ulam ye de nika cargo ye de nika and all the other about 3 or 4 of them ye do omoka in various tonnage of cocoa until this year ye nya nt ye mpo no ni ye benya bia no ye kwa kotua now say koba say the source ye ko raise sikafi eyo omo ho a Agya Kwabena he will be willing to give to say wo de meka na wuntua ye na mi jaiwa anwe ya wuntumi ntua enti uka se wo pesika biem a no problem mema ma me nto kokoo no na me de ma wa na mateme die no afrim enti se akoba ne sa the indigenous license buying companies no Agya Kwabena we should expect to say most of them will fold up say the PBC here
ya fold and na me da se ye beba e ka hodo omode no so na afi yatumi edi nkobo sabe e ka say binu so be ka yensa ama Benjamin ensia eye penia ye kafa nwo nsam a waben wo mu na afi skasam tutuye no so ono so waben nti wono so be ka mensa e wa ha na eno achi nso nana ofuri owusu ono ye dwamtirani national chairman edema PPP Progressive People's Party wono so abebe kamiseti ojafo medamase na mamu so akwaba na Alfred mame ye hwe in 2017 Cocoa Board eboka eboka meba 2017 boka 395 million Ghana cedis 2018 ebafam ebedu ebafam pa na eka no wofam eno ye 78.2 million Ghana cedis 2019 esan kosoro ekodu 320 million Ghana cedis 2020 ekosoro ekodu 426 million Ghana cedis 2021 eko 2.4 billion until the difference no 2020 426 ehwiri fiho eko 2.4 billion sorry 2021 2022 omoboka 3.2 billion and after 2023 omoboka 4.2 billion Alfred me kwaje besia na ma beto ade nti me ni se sika dodo amenya no eho niama na meto nti no se me kwaje 1 billion samba beto bibia 1 billion ho niama na se meto na makokoton na menya mfaso na me de sika dwetire no ebisa me kobo eno makono makokokutua se makoje bise na wie na sade na meto no me sambo ka what does it mean esense hwe bebia ka bo na duro no minim ebia na cheche mu bi obabia bia ye mu binim nimu de a na se bia wo fia ban wo betumi a chechire mu no yate asede a na ye hwe de owura abohene du so kase ese no enya de a ye be kokopa bi sa beto kokko bi sanse ya ye be ye ma no to che se ye de karodo nti wi asa mansan kra no ye kwa besia no anya de omoma yen pe Cocoa Board ne niema omo ye nti no ma boka too much nti obi ampeso omo kokko bi na besia bi eye no kre mamiti osimadu
da sepi nse mechia wo mechia menuanum a omo so omo abaha anabe ene medinchia kese so ma Dr. Laji Mahmoud Baomia ene Matthew Poku Prempe wo dwuma kese a omonam Ghana ha omudi yehu yenyina yehu last week Sunday manifesto launch no mosi ekoye na nsmp a yekan ye de boa ma say Dr. Baomia take over on be boa ma Ghana mpuntu kese abaha ade odwen hu ne jobs and stabilizing the economy and creating more jobs for the people na meanwhile no so to make sure say businesses pay so ejuma omo ye no ebe gina eyi ama omo cocoa sector no say from long yenyina yenim say enwa na sustain ye wo Ghana hani ade and from time to time so yenim dia ekoso wo sector ho bossa de every year omobo near there in wohwe so a this is not the first time most people can I'm sure say we check our records no be say 2017 na omobo kapewo and previously too they were having some debts near there outstanding from time to time so they try and do as much as possible to pay off their debts na information kakra maybe say say menu no all kasa no ya tweme say all kasa no can say abaya dey say omunyama nyina omuhia for their season no eba timely
this season
yes this season they say they are doing baby a air stronko baby a omo make sure say omo dey boa koafo a omo so betumi aka say omunyama so ekoyie wo hwe dwumade a omo di na previously I think the previous government wo be hwa na omomboa wo sa we de ne ade na oka ho asem no MPP by na ye be started sa ye ne omotina asika say because of ye be hwe mosi on be do rehabilitation schemes ni ade for farmers na government na e be for the entire cost and that's what we've been doing from 2017 till date. It helps them because we share the whole cocoa sector na previously na swollen shoots obon local name and then I mean to be born na black pot diseases near there no virus no na a lot of the farms into obesha no at the end of it na yen produce na yenya no about 1/3 I say because of some of these diseases are ever. Until the government put in some measures to make sure say obabwa rather than to leave them to go and do it then at the end of the day no ebe say no yen how we can maximize producer and it helps to make sure that you get the necessary things say we yes aswa sa adona ekoso ni nyina no at least omo fi village hono so ombenya ejuma aye and these are some of the ejuma aye can say direct and indirect labor ni nyina yenya from employment no ibini because once you are paying people to go and weed other people's farms now it helps people to also get jobs to do instead of ombet na fie no ma can say o bia yenya ejuma bia aye enti there's a strategic effort to make sure say the cocoa sector no ye be grow ni definitely there will be challenges. Some of the challenges are yenina yenimni agalam say so am cocoa farmers be omoton ma sa simple say make I say a video be about out to be can say or no there why dosa on see dinda from a scratch into oton na sa say no so oton be half say nyeni na import on be half na oton we and what me see ne dan ma say see order ne dan but at the long term they say we see dan ne say see na wonya wo monthly in there after some time no that money woton as I woton no sika no be kofo because what will you do so these are all the measures are now aban to make sure say on be way we share syndicated loan so for 8 months that is February to September we pay about $150 million for interest and ground not to mention it just the interest
syndicated
loan the interest alone from February to September $150 million James say mpenifo na hono omse no sa na no I think it's a little bit worrying because for 8 months keke obetua $150 million no then now you are coming to pay the main so near the principal near the end then what are you doing so they decided say instead of doing this syndicated let us look at a contract scheme where people will be given contract to go and purchase and then they use their money to do it. Into that
people as individuals and I say
you have to be in the LBC the scheme to do that. You can
line buses buying companies. You will be that.
Yeah.
Into
say a contract into those who apply will get it and go and do that. And so government will take itself out of this indicated because yes, we 3 billion back. Is stabilizing the currency. Yes, sir. We have other ways of stabilizing the currency. And I built Dr. Bob, that gold for oil near the stabilization of the currency. Let's look at other ways of stabilizing our currency rather than waiting for loans to always come in and stabilize your currency because any short-term measures are emboa or minor. So you look at whilst you are trying to cut down on the short-term measures you look at long-term measures who are ebeboa to make sure say at the end of it all it will be a win-win approach because when you can say short-term measures are from I'm stopping it and I'm going on the long-term measure. There will be some challenges within the system, so it's a gradual process of winning yourself away. After 8 years, because me per se, I mean, when I was at the bank, I always said I don't see why. Since independence, I started to say, the time I started to say, every time you see a syndicated loan. And if you are doing 3 billion, by now you should be coming down. Because after some time, you should be able to save and say that on my own, I'm going to buy it. Because I'm a private company in America. I should get to a time, you say, Bossa in fan running a company deal. I have to be able to manage and make enough profit to run my own business.
Yeah, sure. And so, yeah, what am I saying? You show more a dick and a toku be my rather than yet your mocha. And I should go board
that one say I cannot force
domoka and they cost
so much and now we
domoka.
I don't know the terms and conditions under which because there are sometimes maybe I will back at any park and say, listen, I'm taking this for a 5-year period. This is how we are going to repay you. This is the conditions under which you are going. It's sometimes Rebecca say what they can, but you can go into it and know say it's a different approach that they've taken.
Okay.
And these are things that we should go into it and check
well. Share. They say about be no maka ho. No ma ba betua. Cocoa board no so na car e da hwene anu a so wa no $4.2 billion Ghana cedis. Say so dollar na ehwiri kwosoro yi amasi de wi sa bere mu na yese ankwankwan bi enkonkonkoto enti ankwankwan no kwa akoto no wugini so obenya resemu bi say me koto menya me fa so anase me koto obenya sika no kwa wo he no tumi de koto
onkoto. If you are not going to make money, you won't buy it. No, so definitely once he is going to buy it, then it means that on him how he's going to make his money back. It is said the gold for oil policy.
And one more system.
It is said the gold for oil policy. If you don't have the money, how are you going to buy the gold? And if you don't have the gold, how are you going to exchange with the oil? These same things can be applied to this. They are looking at lucrative ways of let us move out of the loan scheme every time. Because apart from the 7 or 8 months I would bet you are interested there, you have to pay your loan off before you can go for another syndicated loan. And these are huge loans every time. Are we continuing to go and rely every time on loans?
Let's say loan
then say fine.
Yeah, say what
but say loan. Now won't find yet there how can you go for another loan?
And you know Namaka Yabaya baby do 4.2 billion Ghana loan.
Now he was talking about cocoa routes. Maybe cocoa, now mean to me transport cocoa bar. Then what is the use? The routes are as important as the cocoa in the farms. Because the farms no na cocoa no go ho. Now want to make farm back. Now you export here. How can you send it out and go on and pro? Let's be realistic and go on and pro now. So let us not deviate from this. Let us look at and let us not always be condemning ourselves. In our way, in our year to be to be born. Are we looking at lucrative ways of making sure say the year one year next time you to me bobosa and I bobosa, but we are moving from the bossa type into a situation yankasa yebe to me on our own to buy. We are giving people the chance to also create avenues for jobs. because nipa who je loan one no don't forget that loan na wo je no yes why je loan no on also create avenue for new to get jobs to do. So if you can do it locally, if you can get local people to do that and for them to run this whole system, but we manage it from the back, why can't we do it? I didn't say to me, yeah, ebe boy ma one ebe create jobs, two ebe masikana higher stable because Kano will be here. You see, so let us look at the positive sides of some of these things. How can we do it to better it? How can we make sure say enko ye bibi to say ebi amini mu nti na mede sa contract na ema ono, but because we be to me aye ejuma no, and that is why I'm giving it to you. These are the things that necessary things that ye put in place to make sure that this thing stands and stands well.
Enye besia ye bo abonta ma no ne ya bro bosia na esan say obi a o hwe no bia no we enye kokwa mu asam. Say we adwuma ku bi na say afibia wo je besia so boka afibia je besia boka afibia je besia boka me ma be je besia ho ma boka makoben ho ma je besia ma boka makochume so ma je ko ma boka e bia nana na last person be tu akọ nchan ko boka nti nana be besia say okọ Alfred wo no je besia so boka o oba ben ho no boka ko chume so boka enti me ma no enti we did say sanka cocoa board credit worthy anka wo mutumi komanim enkonkwaje bisa na be say na they were looking for about 1.2 billion dollars some last cocoa season na so mutumi anya 800 no mpo no eba sope esa so mo de ba no kra no na I say na wo mo enyem hye obo kakra it's cocoa board credit worthy.
Whatever they do no, they buy what you are talking about. This 1.2 no, it's like buying the cocoa ahead of time. I'm giving you this money so that you give me these supplies. And only at the end of now, say my bo bia busa na medeka intimate media. It will make you not come and buy it. But people are going in for this. People are looking at the advantage of it. People are seeing say what are the mitigating circumstances I made better why at least these are the things we look out for. And then I can say in every situation you look at the positives. If the positives outweigh the negatives then you want to go for it. That's a business. So you're running business no we can say misro you cannot run any business and run it well. But every business there are challenges, there are losses that you can make, there are say sika with the bank what is sika it's either a profit or a loss. Into all these challenges you look at it in such a way say they make will my returns be good? 1, 2, would I make sure that I get my returns? How am I going to do it? May then I'm in cocoa board at Nasa to make sure say sika ye de to at the end contract ye omode mayeno ye benya sika wo. And that is what we are doing to make sure say now it's not going to be a situation as how 150 million like I bet you interest no. You bet me there be papa. That 150 million.
It the ono no kokoto no sisi no. Ono to also no turn 10 cities or better my 10 cities on fan fast on to so.
Oh, definitely there'll be some investment on it. Say your business no on to make go turn 10 cities on turn mount 10 cities.
It with the hanum na say but here do hanka be me de. E bi san say me say make kokoto no. Me thought na me the break cocoa board na cocoa board akoton
let me afre omo PR
we prince we dem yes adwuma mai kakra no
afre PR na interview na wa cheche omo
you because the baby onam dey say no say why big man say intro na be foforo
oh but still bet me
yeah hwe say one mo to cocoa no individual na to cocoa no e dey makoko board na cocoa board akoton ajisika no
cocoa board omo to dey that.
Okay,
it is just like a transit point through cocoa board because cocoa board is a reliable organization. Their name say bet me aje fi omo
enti wo mo na sika no be cocoa board.
I had to say middleman
sika no be cocoa board ho
benyan ono so nfa so kakra because we work so ono so betu aka
enti sika no be cocoa board ho na cocoa board e dey ama cocoa board so this can the otoye no through cocoa board the oton no
sika ne ba obecha
e be for two mesito na the ama me cocoa board me na me cocoa board na me ma ton ma Alfred na wo Alfred wo this can ama cocoa board na cocoa board me cocoa board ma the ama tumasi na ye hwe ye we nyina no have you forgotten so say ye will produce buying company PBC eye aban dia eye oman dia wo mo ejapade all over Ghana it's our private for to wo mo ni offices all over Ghana, but PBC were offices every corner of the country. It's a PBC na egui. It's a PBC na ewie no kojoto. Yes sir.
PBC personally as I've seen their books can be revived. It will take some time but it will revive. any company that is there, all assets and liabilities, definitely can be turned around.
Okay.
It may take a longer period
Okay.
than expected.
Okay.
But once you get management, good management, over running the company, they look at certain things, they cut down on certain things, they put in certain measures, they can even borrow to even make more money and pay off the loans.
Okay.
It's a PBC, no, men can say a company, Kojoto, Wakachi will be saying, Yambeto PBC 1 billion says, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know better on 1 billion because almost the so what I will insist me say, let us look at the personnel there and make sure say they are putting in the right measures on to me at any place now around. And they should come out with pragmatic measures use here and now on bet any place now around because it can be turned around easily.
All right, but that's it. Ben, Coco some year came. Me one. I na do baby a woka na kwese bia o ya ma wokasa wadodo. But the reality is say niema e kofam. PBC for ensem sorry me kan ho asem ofia pa kan ma. E say baby aduro no pe san hihye ya koko wode e de ebe. Owura bohene de betena piece for maka say bi say PBC for e boka. Inti anya de a koko bode ebe ma PBC for sika bia say omfanya adwuma biu esan say sika na de ma no boka. Me when I can almost see PBs for some more born, then you know, correct. What ye, I shan't credit a money said an MSC qua. I can almost see PBC airborne, and you know, correct. I do my phone here, Juma Nam management in a new be, and I'm a boca. She said, baby, I don't say, Uncle Koto, Uncle Koto, Crown, yet your mokai in Cherry. And as you see, some across Uncle for Frubinso and Concoto. The Uncle for Coton. You first can win the Chomaka. Adada for the better chomoka na fufo for so chiwe chomoka na se se bisa Alfred no PBC de ye gya ne kwan baba yo san ye ye
no pempo other local ones bebre
local ones bebre
so mo rely mo twen for the Cocoa Boys so be mo
syndicated loan na what you media enti no
won tohwe
won mu a aguo no so
I think be in the hands of foreigners.
Yes me usa kwesi brodi bi kura sensan krata ho baby.
Yes.
Is that the way to go? Baby anema kikan kui.
I think it is not the way and it shouldn't be the way. Me who article bi am say Reuters ka say Cocoa Boys so come here 1.5 billion around September for 2014 2024
25.
Yes. 25. What change? But I'm glad say almost a so my dream say almost per se almost Emma Atofono Episika. But approaching it is very, very bad. I think that Cocoa Board as we have it now needs to be a regulator of the industry and stop buying and selling of cocoa. That is what I think. Because being a regulator no anka ono de nhyehyeye beto ho a
this will be ediso
because na me tie de ye nyina ye kan ho a Cocoa Board ko babusua nsi hu si ho eda ho LBCs no ebinum private ones na bia almost kakra no so ko babusua nsi hu da ho sansi hu reflect on the actual price anka wo say to cocoa kruma nti the farmer no does not get sika anka wo so onya film no onya. So why not as a country you be Cocoa Board be maka say no Cocoa Board just be like an MP, just be like EP. You are a regulator, regulate the industry, let local participants yenya local companies and tonkoton never o tax to ho and also levy bi to ho na wonya sika di wodwuma as a regulator. That I think will help us best because me say Cocoa Board afibia yes akoji syndicated. I'm glad say this year almost omonkoji. I don't know ebinum argument ni say ebinum argument ni say omunya nti na omonkoji. Ndi say you want to you be say yi Cocoa Board free sa hiayo yi mu ne ka bebrebe ya. Let's make that particular entity a regulator. Onya regulator no. Onya cocoa adwuma ye onhyehye mra we na cocoa hwani wo so odi so. Mra we na cocoa atofo e wo se mudi so. Yen as a regulator no ye levy bia e de beto cocoa bo no so e de be di ehu dwuma anie. And sometimes we can even license these buyers. Every year MPA say o ye BDC an importer of petroleum products. Maybe one example. You pay almost $750,000 to get a new license. If you are already in the business, you pay about $350,000 to get a new license. Imagine say you see LBC being paid $1 million to get a cocoa buying license. Here be subjected to renewal. Sika ebenya free ho. So cocoa board so no and these days people are even talking of redundant employment there. Many about you say workers of cocoa board over 10,000. And these guys
workers somewhere there.
Cocoa board, they are more than 10,000 according to her.
10,000.
Yes. Across. Some of them go, there's no work, no more cotton fee. A binum crash said the Okacham crash, a binum crave freeway to coin, a common, no more books yekacrano, more banks, a books yekacrano, or the quano they acquire apply visa, do one Avianico Canada. Right? So it tells you that sending a year managing cocoa board no as a buyer, seller no has not helped this particular country. And political parties, I think maybe 2024 manifesto no, a binum diabada, that's a bit Maya. Let's look at this particular organization. Ebinum die eba. So MPP mo dia badada. PPP okay yeah. PPP be afi na eba dia. I think that we should relook at cocoa board and just make it a regulator. Unregulated industry. And others will do the buying and selling and put some money or the taking care of no. Say can order. I also think that say betimi anya levy be offset that debt because in the petroleum sector in 2015 we introduced ESLA. So offset petroleum sector debt. This is a kind of woman. If I to be to say, oh, Sato ye di kotia kana woman. Na yenye man kram business. Say you say abrofo no, any baby say be aminu ebo kagal ni other companies. We can restrict foreign participants in our local export.
Would that be possible? Since an answer no publications by newspapers una ye urabo hine do say no ye nkoi publish be na broni and now one in sign agreement, you know. Any bruni sign there. That's why they done it more money, sir.
No, I think it's possible to say bit more restricted local foreign participants. Maybe the petroleum industry downstream, for example, restricted foreign participants. Foreign participants are more downstream. No, I think they are about 4. Yeah. Puma, Total, Vivo, Crano, local interest room, and Sanawaba, Total Energy, Vivo, Puma, Engine. These are the only 4.
But even with all of them, you have to get a local.
Yes, local. 80% of the employees must be local. Say a scale gap in the industry. Not the funds they be here. No, you see at the development bank. You at GCB order that. You at other SME banks. If the banks no be equip promo to support your local participants no at lesser interest rate, no much matter. Ye more monto. No more when you export no cocoa board ne dey say or the levy kakra beto so or the be regulated the industry but abribi asa ye to cocoa board e to no oboka no akwaje bosua no oboka say kwan I think say yes say cocoa board kwan ye no I think I support that a bit say cocoa board no as a regulator say nyo no kra as a ban cocoa rows no must be accessible because one thing na high in krom ha ejakomna post harvest losses and as a cocoa rows no nya good car into me for macromuntem ebe mana say essence abeyenka. So I think we need to really look at this cocoa board then cocoa structure no framework no I say and a framework no ama since 1992 I started syndicated yen to me nyai this year you see a but I'm sure say next year here be sankobium because yankwa you see the thing is that yankwa and here na yen to me ntua private participants no kro mokakoto cocoa na ba no yen to me ntua yen to me because a ne cocoa board eto ne na so see private participants in for music and what will happen is that next year the wakoton ne was odi tuo muka the wakoton no so also odi be settle kabi
previous
it is a carry forward na na
yes also odi settle kabi nti wo ka se unko adwaman so obekọ opompo next year obekọ bia this year no bia political year the better under who say 32 years we are not going there again but I'm sure next year we go. The best thing for us is to really look at it and restructure it and make it a regulator. No money regulation no once and for all, and people will do their business in the industry.
Okay. Now for it or can be Ben can be say be ya yema local banks no nka wo so masene na nka wo mo hwe so betima mama be se na nka yan ya toto ne amane na mo bank ye gu no enti sanka efo ne se sanka banks nkitinkiti wo hokra na nka le sanka sabre no anka wouldn't have been appropriate say goods and kebetumi fall on momo banks I would etete sana nke etumi de agina ye nanso wogi di say cocoa board niema ekoi esense e ka 4.2 billion e ye ka da wo ebetua anya se bi e ka e hie gu e ka da wo ebetua e ka say cocoa board etumi paint picture bi abontima ne look as if say all is well meanwhile anya sanete se se no be e duro ni no kure no adan se pompo aboy hwene so bam obi ani tua wogi di say yesi kasam tutuam ni hihye mu no ya nye ne be ye ana ma duru bebe ya be duru enne edu bebe na ye ka Ghana asem kra na fa koko nsam kra na ya e fere
the question Kempona Bisana or then can may nominate you for Nobel Peace Prize. Just for one question. The cocoa sector now, it sits in an economy. Until baby by itself, the cocoa sector, it sits in an economy. There's an economy now, Pascal. Its ripple effect and a yehu the cocoa sector. You know, a quadri loan. What a risk you, the person ever loan, or risk profile, and what determine interest rates on the facility or the bomber.
Okay.
Now, what risk profile in cocoa anka aye the bedrock of your nation on 8% and moving. It means there a human on Sony and the Sikanoso Aquaquageno is about the future production of cocoa. Now, if the continuous decline in cocoa production in Ghana in the last couple of years, 800,000 tons, up but down 700,000 tons. Now we move around 600,000 tons. Why will I give you the money?
But the Bamemo Kakra, you fight Nancy 2021, 2022, no. Now 683,000 tons. 2022, 2023 cocoa season at Tiba Farm, it do 654,000 tons. 2023, 2024, no. Asante Aba Farm, I do 580,000 tons. They say,
previous numbers no 800,000 and all but down.
Yeah.
And it's a projection, a downward slope. Projection or a downward slope. And it's a risk there in Pakri, medical mana, no production capacity, no, or conform. And instead of this talk, no, have you heard them saying for the production to go back up? Here you are. Cocoa farms have turned to galamsey pits. You are focusing more on gold for oil than who staple, who bedrock of the economy, cocoa. And you are destroying your lands, destroying your water, production, farmers are going to get poor. Your credibility on the international market near short. And then you sit here and you have the audacity to tell us there it is innovative. You can't insult us like this. You cannot pay your facilities on the loans that you have accrued over the years. You are not giving access to credit. They are not giving you credit. Then you turn around to insult us Ghanaians there in your 32 years in the novelty that Ghanaians they are going to pay and pre-finance locally. Does this make sense to you? Then the companies now you have listed, most of the companies are international companies. Most of the international companies dealing with our local farmers. What you are doing is that you are giving the economy back to the foreign people. Then you are destroying cocoa production because the numbers need to form every year. Then your credibility on the international market, in terms of financing you, I don't see you to be credible. And I'm not giving you facility. And so we run around, we pretend. You try and tell us that Aquaco created the greatest thing since sliced bread. And that brain. Okay? It is the economy is finished. We have destroyed this economy. Local banks, GM Bank with 300 branches in Ghana, reaching all the corners of Ghana, that had been supporting cocoa farmers with small medium scale facilities, you intentionally, deliberately collapse local banks, and you think you're going to grow your industry, you're going to grow your economy. When local people who have invested locally, you go after them and you destroy. That's why I'm saying that this cocoa thing is sitting in an economy. It is not sitting somewhere outside though. So when you destroy your economy, the ripple catastrophic effects, and we haven't seen anything yet. This is a catastrophe. That if you are the second leading producer of cocoa, but the international market is not seeing you as credible to give you money to go and further your enterprise, cocoa enterprise, it means your future is very bleak. Why you baby ayerko?
And you will patch and some more rubber here do back and say, hey, and I'm to be busy, then finish and as a for
my brother.
Yes, it's your funny.
Ma on disrespecting, ma on bucket can send Obama Yimpani Buo too much on this thing as if you are doing us a favor when you have failed and collapsed. You can't pay your loans. You can't get lower interest rates. You are not getting access to new facility. You have been locked out. Then as all of these channels has been closed, you come to us there. You have created and you have thought about Bibia Obian dream that in Madagana. Look, the wickedness of MPP in the way they have destroyed this economy, my brother, it cannot be underestimated. It cannot be underestimated. And the effect that we are suffering, you are just talking about cocoa. The other sectors will all come up and boil up, and we will see the effect of it. You cannot sit here and tell me that the production of cocoa continues to go down. You are taking interest rates where you are telling us that when you went for 8% interest rate plus the cost of closing the gig and all of those things, you didn't know that was costing Ghana 150 million. Is it now that you have come to a realization when we are big? It is now people are big, light to be also with me there. The idea it wasn't in the interest of Ghana and not yet sustainable.
So we have learned our lesson.
And at what cost? At the destroying of our cocoa sector. Is that the cost? When you destroy it before you see it.
Last week your video be praised. We need
to be able to, as a people, leaders are there to solve problems. You have been elected, put in place.
Also to lead is to solve.
You are not here to talk like me or to talk like my brother that we are not realizing this, that you can't talk like me. You are sitting there in the seat with all the powers that is behind you to solve and reverse this situation. You don't come here, you talk as if you are a social commentator. You don't come here and talk as if you are now as some analyst. You are there doing day-to-day work to improve Ghana's livelihood of citizens.
And your
day-to-day work is not yielding anything. It's rather making us worse off.
Would you say saying cocoa industry we are in a
state of crisis. Are we not in a state of crisis in the cocoa sector? We are in a state of crisis. You can't pay your loans. Production has gone down. You can't get access to credit. Is that not a state of crisis?
Prince, me pacho last week you video be na abrantie bi twetwa cocoa bigu no I do to galamsey no sakasa video no anka uyi mame na akọ next topic so we abrantie no twa cocoa na go say
farmers are crying about how people are invading
Prince
their farms. and we sit idle. We sit idle. So what do you think is going to be the effect on the farmer? When you don't give a damn about you don't give a damn. So when you go and destroy what assassin, now it's no to go there. Don't you know that in the future your production will keep going down because the same piece of land, the same land, and aqua say no to do your galamsey. And it doesn't it stand to reason that your production figures that has seen a downward slope in trajectory, that there's something wrong? Doesn't it stand to reason?
Video na me
stand to reason.
Video na make the cocoa na we say cocoa fresh cry say bia na
digitalization is assisting in the economy.
Okay.
Cocoa is assisting in the economy. If the economy name all those things that they are talking, there's some cosmetic yeah.
Me dance you say what 2 minutes percent be ya be kwa that topic so.
Me be tell and to the minimum can you see say before then about the syndicated loan. When them say na cocoa board our Ghana, it used to be more credible in terms of assessing loan than government of Ghana.
Yeah.
Now cocoa board ecogy syndicated loan at 1.7 plus LIBOR. And then last year, I said, and I'm going to say, and says, can be Obia. Obia said, or yet descending Ghanaian being said 2024. And that Kwabena said, when your boo baby say, Sebio, say, Quateni, Quay. Now, or catch us and make a mean cheer Obia. And now, I want cheer Obio situation to me. What were the options? What can say have decided or we've decided? Not you can decide in the midst of options. But what option me buy hey obian so is na nim. Me so ni. And we catch now say I've decided my adwene say menum so we. Ma no my dey na me no.
Oh dear no.
Me to me fa o dear. And me new option. And the cocoa board only option. And I was thinking, what say that now here press conference no? A media, I think one of the journalists, ABC, they said, then what is the source? I Benya. Or say you will come back on that one. Or say in due course.
In due course. You
see, before say an announcement, another thing, and it has been a trait at the BM and stakeholder engagement is very important. You will be I from PPRC, Producer Price Review Committee. Omo na tena se ekoi LBCs rep quality control rep, standard board rep, banks rep, cocoa board ankasa and all. Omo na tena se even cocoa price impo no omo na tena se adwendwen ho. Eja kwamna. Information a mewo ene se ekoi ni kura no na watwi a yebewura mu na ombe committee. Enti asema yaka a week before no almost me bisa obi o say ono so ati na atisem enye se obeka ya anka ono so na onim enti Lancet Buying Company said honorable mention say this year no omumom na ebekwa akopre omusika abeto no unka nkire omu. You've not told them because what can't you omu aka PPRC meeting and omu be discuss no omu discuss margins omo discuss your friend says primary haulage na nyoma ni nyina ya je ni nyina to ho. It's bad but be ya do no
okay
wo cocoa ya hwe ni here cocoa will be taken over the same way our gold has been taken over by foreigners. Cocoa will be taken over the same way our oil has been taken over by foreigners. Ya better Ghana say ya tisikaso Next we are combating because our money is in the hands of our foreign.
Benasi. Menim say come ye die ye be san to aso dia I say then na you Bwahine do kan no problem I want to me. Bwahine do kasa ya no o kan say bi say afi na Baby business can be free woman beto no kra no minim say company ABCD individual abede and ekokoto say then you said sika baby scan be fi beba kra no ye sheda ehunu ya fe na ekoko ayen sem bebre nti no ewo ho na now 2 minutes Mr. What 2 minutes say the other two important issues the topic say discussing
okay, 2 minutes and so my okay we dey back because so
2 minutes
what fine.
Yes, sir.
There's something that I say, who say we need to cut our personal and our own maybe our loss or pain from a national discourse. Why am I saying this? When you are Nekasano or the banks near there by no say something like in quotes, say you are bringing innovative ideas. Obiat Nase. Or ye ejuma wadwen ho say me person meko for low. You are the same person say catch and say why are you not bringing ideas that will help solve the problems or the idea about no catch and say enkwasi asem to be catch or say or this idea about because banks they not do the right thing and they were being controlled by Bank of Ghana and they had to be closed until once you are affected by that bank into every other thing government in be enkwasi asem more. You don't rule a country that way. And we'll never get any development if we are going towards that direction. We need to bring out personal from political or the governmental. Let us look at how we all can work to make sure that we drive this country forward. Whether it be a busa nedaho, a neka nedaho, and I have found an innovative way of now getting local people to also participate. Listen, let us make this a local so that the locals would also, we have a lot of individuals, we can bring them together, 5 people or 6 people together, say, okay, you form this consortium and go and purchase this thing and do it. And then you grow your people. That is how you grow your people. But it's not because may grow when you are doing the wrong thing and now there are rules and regulations. Now we are by now you're closer down. They just say everything we do is nothing good to you. Okay. And also to answer he said, listen, there is no institution in the country that has more power to borrow than the country itself because of the sovereignty of the country. Sovereignty, the country Ghana, Cocoa Board hasn't got more power than the government.
My point then is
Cocoa
Board and the records.
No, you said you made a point.
You made credibility in terms of rate.
What's that rate? Listen, look at the
just a single item. Cocoa Board was doing 1.7 plus LIBOR. Government of Ghana now is saying it was doing more than 1.7. It's record.
Even before we came, how much were they doing?
No,
then when we came, how much did they bring it down?
I'm not analyzing
but I'm saying the sovereignty because of the sovereignty. Because Cocoa Board, when the government says that you can't go and borrow, you can't go and borrow.
No, I think one. My point then is
but coming back to the whole
Oji 1.7 plus LIBOR. Government edging more than that at that rate. The reason the interest rate to assess them.
If you are saying it on that area,
yes.
Now, what I'm saying to end here. Listen, if someone for this country to move ahead in a right direction, we'll all work towards it. Okay. Now you can dislike Buahin or dislike whoever this government or dislike anyone. After all, we can't win everybody's hearts. Yeah, 50+1. It's here to mean we know their hearts. But whatever we have to do as a government to help our people, to let them stand tall, to let businesses thrive, to make sure that it will be a golden age of business. Under Dr. Baomiano, we will do it. Okay. We will do it well.
Me that's it. A time when there were 2 important issues.
1 second. Obi wa representing the party. I will speak from the perspective of the party, and he's thinking that I should speak from his perspective.
No one has thought you should speak from a perspective. No one, but once you insult my party, I'll respond to you.
Does he have a right?
No, once you insult my party, I'll respond to you. No,
he's right. You are
coining the term. You tell him that. No, you don't listen to what you are saying here. You don't listen to what you are saying here.
You cannot tell me what I should say.
Nobody has taught you what to say. Nobody has taught you what you should say.
And I am saying that what the man said is not any novelty. It is nothing that solves any problem. You sit there ashem ade na say ewia
Then
aba be ye wo hu kwekwa nancy tactics there it adwen kesi bi aba in fact adwen kesi bi ambe the production of cocoa is on the decline.
And the record
the record show is on the decline. You are not getting access to international markets. The land for cocoa is now being used for galamsey and other things, which is a contributing factor for the reduction of production. So these things that have been said now, you have conveniently not touched on them. It's up to you. I'm not here to please you.
Okay, but that's it.
I'm not here for you to come and tell me and guide me how.
What are you talking about?
What
are you talking about? I talked about if you didn't come early and you didn't listen to it, it's your own problem. If you didn't come early and you didn't listen to it, it's your own problem. If you didn't come early and you don't know what is said, don't come and say anything like please.
You can't blow smoke.
Nobody is blowing any smoke.
But I say,
go and bring out your manifesto.
1 minute. 1 minute. You call and because other issues on
media may come energy so na Coco Madika
recommendation. Yes, and so open down center kasi be and only the recommendation. But you be call you call we swansa
okay.
E car ye di enti ase so mo je japade o UK. Yenko ho na wahimpo ade na mpese
say no see energy as
me hwe me ba be wura ho say omanga na ye agreement ye ne traffic guard force ye na traffic guru say one for ye ya si say no judgment debt about $134 million and ye kwakutua yentumi ntua yenti ye japade ye danka se wo UK adwumako no afa ye no kra na wo mo de teka no so bi esa se yentumi ntoni entumi entika ni nyina nti sankanya diplomatic coverage bi kra na nka cover ye mission ne ye residence kra nka bi asa dan nyina nka ombeji e de aka ho na ben nti a sasemi eyamasem hia and say you when you make the old tie nti ya boka omode sa general debt ya be kra na ebra omode asem no ko UK no for arbitration no ye kokwansa sa eno mpagya fi UK e de ko US for the samankata abra ye first time yanko second time yanko etomu bu atan no in absentia na ne adwuma na ye se bra na be hu na so tiri amade a ene e wa wasemwa eno omode aboyeka. Who do we blame here? Me person say you blame Mobia. We need to blame somebody. He for now did say one man yakosati bi emu a we must hold them accountable. Esa say omodwuma na eso boye. Na fe akire no dey may be cause Ghana ha ye yi eno to nchen. Na ye de atoto ahwesa. Are we serious as man say ekoba say bia ye de ka ana obi de ye ka aye baji esika. Ada say betua ye ka na ye mra no so. Yes sir.
I think that media reportage on this particular subject is a bit misleading. I was say first of all, no, in 2021, 134 plus or more court charges.
2021, no.
$138 million.
Okay.
The 2021, there was say $138 million USD, and it was say in September 2021, it was 34 million USD.
34 million. I did say 138, no. And it's 34,
but 138 Nancy Hunzu 6.2. And the Afibiana went to Mentia Sikanibino, and Sihuno be calculated 6.2 annually on the Sika. And the me Mawahu, the year Tia, any dear, Wapayo say, this mechanism by you said then ama ya abro ama ya badi wo mi nti September we paid $34 million. That time no me use Bank of Ghana
was that
September 2021.
Okay.
Me use Bank of Ghana rates 197 million Ghana cedis in etua momo nti ebe calculation na hu sika etua momo sa sika no in January 2021 na 138 million no o de call your Bank of Ghana rate and then ke was it 800 million Ghana cedis. 800 million Ghana cedis was etua mu 2021 January yentua nti September etua mu 197 million Ghana cedis
200 600 and something aka chire say
etua yentua ena omo san de press ye ena court na emiensa onye kromiensa so na omo de ekoyo omo de ekọ UK e de ekọ Netherlands that's Amsterdam and so na omo de ekọ US the court miensa na omo de enkoye nti omo de ekọ bi no ena esan ekọ hunze no ani bi aba nti ensan kotua ena ekotua 30 million enu se etua no 2022 etua 30 million ema omo 30 million no me bro ho a that time exchange rate no 7.11 go etua the match enu so etua 230 million Ghana cedis ena de mom yefiri ho na eba May 2023 ena etua om 9 million 5 million 5 million exchange rate no 10.7 me use Bank of Ghana exchange rate because person sika yetua om in cedis yetua 54 million ena de mom that is May 2023 yeko fourth tranche yetua mom no 19 million yetua no 24 February and as of February ena yetua 2024 yao recently yetua 19 million de mamo and also Bank of Ghana rate 12.46 and also yetua 236 million uka sika yetua momo me no kasa ya yetua where's amount paid total 701 million e big kan ba me pese me be kan nti ma me run up to 702 million Ghana cedis and yetua mata figura ba oni sika aka I will say yetua aka 1.7 billion Ghana cedis and yese yetua momo because the exchange rate no enam 15.7 the 15.7 no what the 111 million dollars and multiply 15.7 na still it will see it 1.74 billion Ghana cedis and the ma trafigura abranka sika na chase no 800 million 800 million ya 701 or 702 million Ghana cedis but still no it will see it 1.7 billion Ghana cedis what the obi an 1.7 billion what you can do in this particular economy ena yentua na ubisa question say who do we blame Minister of Finance will say blame no because Kaneba no also kutua ontua Attorney General will say blame no because onenke also ko defend yen wanko ebi okoye ebi so wanko ebi so onya private participant onya private entity UK e masa private company yi e ko gina mu aye enko anyi by 3 something million yeah we pay 3 something million dollars anyi ena yakobo yenka ena ebi so I think we also need to blame the Ghana's High Commission in UK because some of these letters na ebe nyina e fa so na abakuru no so foreign affairs they will say blame foreign affairs and so nti me your problem no a mirror in terms of sikatua na yentua no sa institutions miensa we sanka your mind bia sa nipa kro na omoda sa institutions miensa we nyina no nkabare sam omo fesi prosecution almost face him not resignation alone but a state must take them on for them making us lose this huge answer even though we've paid 702 million Ghana cedis out of 800 million we say to ananka me minus anka 702 no nanka 98 million 98 million nanka ye tua momo ye tua ni nyina in 2021 nanka 98 but in you tua 702 million but you was say 1.74 billion at the moment almost 2 billion Ghana cedis at the moment because of say yentua sika nentem nti okay payment side now any prosecution side any law court mu Attorney General must be blamed, Minister of Finance must be blamed, Foreign Affairs must be blamed, Ghana's High Commission to UK must also be blamed because there were this communication on failure and other part. Now yemra dinti a contract no cry sign no yes you can determinate contract minia in 2015 you ko dum so mu and one of the problems of doing so was generation and generation no na ehia power and at that time at that buy no rush here oh ye ni we nko san apam ye ni we nko ya apam na enya power ni ntem emergency power na mbe support ye main freedom so and trafigura yi our local company Ghana Power Generation Company GPGC omo ye company ba kwa ye ni omo course apam no say omo mra emergency power and the emergency power was supposed to be between 3 to 6 months na power no omo to free Italy e dey abakroma it take 17 months and sana power no edru kroma
yes o kroma
krano and ka usi gina any omo ka cho say mabroso e no mo de buy no na omo pe land omo put the infrastructure on it oh pom biare ka so be mo land actually biare be ka say land no who problem you go run environmental impact assessment and that assessments no land no problem into me farmer so e ho na anka say ban e ka che say you know sign contract is 3 to 6 months 3 to 6 months no apa ho
17 months
you say the biom because my fault my default aban anya ne say na onua no tafigura 4 years starting here e ko pro ma sase because omo subsidy ba ko na epuma ntina puma wa sase bi wo e no mom ko ka say ya nya sase o nti ye pese ekosi energy commission e mo license e grant o license o munsi e no mo start so musi minua aja kom na musi ade no a mo pay all the generation license and other things no na aban e hwe omo eduruba bi ba media mu say aban so terminate contract e no mo ba out e na aban that is somewhere in 2018 no aban for buy no aban for ka say or T committee assess the excess capacity nti o start running committees no ekomu nti committees ni komu na o mo travel good for it o abontin say o mo company ne ka ho aban so wa cancel deal no e no mo ba out e na aban be ka say no yen cancel the deal bia mo da so ka ho at that time na energy commission grant your license to generate o must start implementing fence infrastructure no e okroma o mo ye yenko dua akiri a obi aban say yanimo ni twaka bia mo nkoso enya mo bibia no 2018 aban say wa cancel na areho semni say energy commission secretary no executive was say by this time offensive prosecution because he was the one in charge of the PPA committee committee are responsible for auditing all this excess capacity no generators no he was the one ono na assure GPGC for say obema mo license ono aso the side to aban for say aban cancel say no
aba
e na aban ko cancel ye aban cancel na nkrofo say omo de machines na begu omo ye bibia wi omo start omo de infrastructure na gu nti say wa cancel dia ye de obekọ court wahu e na omo de aban ko court na 2021 omo nya asai no nti wo hwe krom hanso a omo a e wo say ye prosecute omo say ye kura ye ni bra sa nipa na order energy commissioner no the secretary at that time 2017 no by this time we sanka court office court via reform panifo we so office court aban panifo minister of attorney general and justice it was at that time no nipa bi oteso otu aban for say terminate contract no it was office court finance minister at that time it was office court but your mind we enkosi babia oh me I know Ghana too well me study but I know Ghana too well say you be politics say me nua Panyini Thompson ti he ni me nua Nana ti he say anka indis ni so ti he be politics una oyeye una wanye ni say una oyeye abra call corporate now mo manye kutua say ska bumwe
o mo na mo obabia
dey free
ona
but o man bi so a say o mo ye lusu say ska we no e wo say ye mo mudam because ska we ni ye lusu ba ye lusu ye me ne wo na betua
ade charge sense nyina nsi hu no ebi ba
si hu 6.2% no this year be san ko ani me no na betua nti sene want manya o agenda 111 because some of this money agenda 111 is
okay we did that
70 million sky ye bebre
yeah $70 million no so the agenda 111 111 no $70 million so I think you can get that 5 or 6 agenda 111s yentimi sinwe is because minister of justice affiliate because minister of finance affiliate energy commission executive secretary affiliate because minister of foreign affairs affiliate and they are just working like that free
Thompson in koma ye de wo ho aya na du ba bi a me personally di ya wo me mu pa man kan na me boa esa say so many things are avoidable so many things hwe enkrate ekura mi
ya na unpesa odoche mi
enkrate ekura mi 2023 enyumeku ahodo ana etu oil organa ha talo oil kan ene enyumeku bia na de ye ka corporate taxes obuchia no mo nchina etia de gwei e de court enu nie nkrata ye de court saman nkrata ni nie 23 January 2023 ena GR kan say enyumeku nyina corporate taxes obuchia no mo nchia manya musika na wie yeso de esam no ma mo fa ma yen additional oil entitlement bi ko we chamo de ka ho ni nyina ma fa nka ho muntua enti ade mo court enti mo kan ye case so bi atua sika so mo de nyina wo mo nyina e wa ni nyina defendant no plaintiff no commissioner general Ghana Revenue Authority and afi defendants no ayetalo oil Ghana Wissam Al Montiri and afi Musa Mohammed wo so ewa wo nyina de nie. This is 23rd of January 2023 and they assembly court. She letter we so letter koya somewhere the court 23rd January 2023 no. After a week 30th January 2023 and as commissioner koya sanche letter and the court to say as somewhere they buy a week ago some confront your moto enti eto no ye the back court say ye gi esika no DRA essential letter and the Kokoma court to say asem de ba last week na asem no ye na akire bio yes discontinuing of the case it ya twa asem na ba fi ya chine ba fi pe and anuma kwadi asem ko UK arbitration ye kwakwa file ye niam nyina no ye tua $118,000 for filing fee ni amanema and crofo no hu say asem on dey ko no ombedi for pe and no man say ye asem no speak UK court bio so san de ba fi e wo Ghana ha ma yes san kudi asem no. Just look at the scenario.
Joke.
And to the two way say UK private a year conform say one nyina mu mai no. You tell me $3.4 million. Private legal firm. Meanwhile, sa triple with the phone that's on kwan ye fa no nye play fair na hu ne amane ma na yan kasa so man yan konkosi anan na yan hwe no mu ni asam no be bia dia bedro ni. Are we serious as a country?
Jacob na problem no eso saying problem no eso saying because each and every individual is also supposed to be blamed. Wo ye ade na ejuma na wo ye ni ye no na ye o wan ye ejuma no so a na ye o wo ye ejuma na ekoso a na obi afafo na wa frɛ we oh ina mebusuani ni ina ye ha no mo hwe na mo ye bibi wo ho ma ye ni ade because why would GRA write to a court to discontinue a case
after a week of
why would GRA write to a
pressure be the few baby some years ana.
But let's come to the substance of this whole Trafigura case no Trafigura
no
Jacob na yes a woman say enya adum so there were crises say yes solve, but they didn't mean just signing agreements by heart. Seriously, they didn't mean just signing agreements with any Tom, Dick and Harry who wanted to say oh, memo electricity, many electricity amount. In your neck, I said 3 to 6 months contractor as a contractor over 17 months as an warrior. Immediately now it's not void because. By that time, yes, Doomsday was about 5 years. But seriously, the time we needed you, you didn't come. And at that time, the contract we were supposed to sign, a contract, yes, solve it immediately. The air cost. So once we look at the long term, it's if within 3 to 6 months, which I felt was even too long. Because 3 to 6 months in Grofun de Sumu, Grofu business and say, Grofu band omo and namni idea warm freeze and money idea in and say, Grofun to me go school because almost means your idea. All these things went on within that 5 years, 3 to 6 months now the man that time maybe a hardcore time because sometimes now be 1 week in put your lights. Yes, say by your light, now wait to me and ne woman a would just come away. Because Obia Yen Juma ye. And it comes back to the same point already. Or more man ye Juma. What is happening to them? I would say, Attorney General will have to answer some questions. Because once I hear the assembly to win him, you should explain to Ghanaians. We are accountable. As a government, you are accountable to the people of Ghana. Ms. Mo Bina Wankwana. What has happened to the person? That is the first question you should tell us. What's more be say, ko na ko di assembly maye. Ina ni pako na ngo. Now, on what basis did we choose the 3.4 million company? On go lose a case now man ko ye juma na maye. Could it have been done the value for money? Could it have been done here? Could we have sent our people rather there? Because we have homes and houses there. Back to me but anyway, I know when you go to another country now, you need lawyers from that place. Who did we take and why did we take them? All these things, and some of these contracts, yes, I know. You should let the person Sentence which means lawyer sign a contract. I'll be just saying, may we know me lose you, and say which you way. But we should also look at it, say, if you don't win, I mean, the amount that should be paid should come down because now we are going to pay a bigger amount. And these are things that the lawyers would have to take up and see, say, it's not just about they getting their fees. But if you don't win a case now, I think the legal counsel should look at it, say, if you don't win a case, then the amount that you agreed on should be either halved or even given 1/3 given to you.
Why
because if you are going to win, this is how much you are getting.
Yeah.
If you are not winning, this is how much you will get. So that lawyers will not take advantage. Say, because if you know how me 3 million AD. If I'm getting 3 million, let me go and try my best. If I win, fine. If I don't win, we need to take people on. And yeah, everybody needs to come on board because this of calling people to call people, no, it's not helping this country. And every year, if we don't get the necessary, punishment now, people will take advantage and continue.
Okay.
There are so many situations, right? From my friend saying, or no energy system no more. When people are funded over power and have paid over $36 million for meters near there, it's never been supplied and nobody has been touched. All these are cases that are there that we ask ourselves, say, are we serious as a country to punish people who are not doing the right thing? Because this area of blaming a government, you know, it hurts me. And each and every individual, you are more positioner, hold it with pride and walk out stating to yourself, say, because me to me A, B, C, D. When I better many my year, because I am not ready to do certain things that ever go against my morals and my beliefs. And let us all work to build a country up. Because truthfully, and will not mix words with that. Say Ghana is endowed with so many resources. But how to manage the resources and make sure that it turns out to the cash that we have, no. Last when we are doing the research, gold alone can give us over $1.5 billion. Gold pay across the country can give us over $1.5 billion. And we are sitting down. Okay. Other minerals haven't come in. Until let us all work together and let us stop this your friends saying when people are being innovative now, admit, you know. Okay,
me that's it. Some no okay, so about Junior and I no say it's but now come on more the pa. You better trust next week.
Yes, I more time. Topics here.
Next week you better try to be the same team about next week. Na ya to aso.
Say me brother.
Na my miss was na fe.
Brother why?
Na yente mo
ka then. Ka wa se brother o te
brother. Just about 7 minutes at the best sorry. You share some I can say.
You can send me PU.
Ebra, as I see a call amonone. You mean say cases bebre o Ghana ha. Ya lawyer for amonone. Arbitration me yakodim kunim. Bebre am ye nyina ani age so ya ne Cote d'Ivoire for oil board oil in some kura no. Attorney general for me no from former ne current so ka bomb no pa ye dim kunim ne yakwa ne yakodim kunim ne de aba na front page ban. Adentina wey it's a makrata naba ya to sa for first time one call second time wonni muso sa eye wadwuma ese sa wo ye no me wa ye no me na nam Ghana hana people must be held responsible this time around and say bia never shame na say ya na meboa
me here ne financial analysis ya of the man. In there, we had an opportunity to negotiate to pay about 20 million to kill the case.
That was this same case.
That there was a report that showed that they could have negotiated between 18 to 20 million
dollars
to have killed the case.
My report no one.
To have killed the case, it's a committee report of Parliament that they could have done to kill the case before we even reach baby you know. According to speculations, there's a in-house palace fight. I'll talk about the promoter of the company that brought versus incumbent powers, and people want to show people where power lies. This is what we are being told.
These are all speculations.
This is what we are being told. And if you could have resolved this thing for $20 million, and look where we are now.
130, almost $150 million.
Look. Yeah, a brofocasem of BB permissive cornucopianism. Or there, Adrian there, a magically, the money will keep coming to solve your problems. Until nothing. This is what is collapsing us. And I make sure that the people in power now cannot speak as if they were your observers. They are superintending over the rot. And were responsible. They were appointed by somebody. The power of the executive in Ghana, per the constitution, appointing over 4,000 people into position. Ministers, chairmen, governing boards, CEOs, MDs, all the people are here waging all the position holders. It is the government. The buck stops with the leadership. Nanado and Baumia. It stops with them. Say action they are ultimately responsible. One to men casa as if they are also spectators sitting on the side like Emi na me brothers ayeti enemy. Ye too. Na ye casa for prosecution obi what the power obotum will put to that into effect. One man call for one resign. No watch there. This is the type of leadership Mukuta men tolerate in some humbia or my ben. But if you sit there idle, in Kashi, no hedge row, nothing happens. You are culpable. I wanna efwa in some hunedo. I wanna etwa ashe maya bokau. You are ultimately responsible. I wanna what to about them all. When I wouldn't what to about them all. Enter into my country and there. Oh, and some could be a bad no could be a look on your uncle solve your problem with your bumpire manami. But or your uncle for head what now they won't share, they won't see Sienna. And if the president Baumia, the vice president Baumia to honor, now in Kodona and Kashi, and you are saying that this is the type of leadership you are going to come and give Ghana. It reflects on you.
No, president.
Oh, no, president. What sound? What bad? Yeah, on economic messiah.
Cultural manifesto.
What bring one? What and what fighting? You see, let's say Ukraine. Now I'm uncomfortable. But you're back comfort zone. You are a leader. No? As a leader, you are responsible. In the book it's saying, so meanwhile, no, Shekawa Orba or Mame. Shekawa Orba or Mame. And look at me catch there. There all these things, cocoa issues I say, judgment debt it sits in an economy. And to say it will be in Shebi, no will be instead the affairs are. All the heads that must be ruled, no, I don't be my instruction. And to why know my instruction? Why know my instruction? And to get me back, not some of us now want power, no one but Casa there or your observers. You are not an observer. You are steering the affairs. You pay action. You pay action from the people who are in power. Okay. You pay observatory remarks.
Okay, me that's it.
You pay observatory. I am an observer.
Until the I
can stay, but you are doing the work. You are doing the work. You are doing the work.
But that's it. Too messy. Yes, yeah. Sir, I said my course. A huge yes, say Agya and some Ankara and we do foreign ministry. No, I could do attorney general. Some could do no. Be a very sure say be a better attorney general. Yes, ebra sase mo wakoto no mo man Ghana ye betumi akọ ye ho ano na se bi sika bi mpo na ye betua kra nkosoro no na ye te Ghana ha na ye attorney general versus asemasi Attorney General versus Asemesi, Attorney General versus Asemesi. Meanwhile, there are important and serious cases at war amanonia. I say to be dear to be. Minister current Attorney General, what you may call, and me, I would be a my gun, I couldn't quit him. A banny about just to say, ye. Some issue we buy, you know. A by publication, we say, ya drink with him. I'm a who excellence in the Bible say, and yes, son, as I'm not here. Head must roll, and as I say, what the 3 minutes near, sorry, I believe
I want the poem, wouldn't bear some few days ago. Now, me were my fault. Now, me no more now. And to do by number, you know, me say or two numbi. Say, why you me, why you me, why you me, you know, remember. When me say, Obia, what did more than 10 years, our Ghana be in Sanyaman. Yeah. That comes down to 54 million.
Yeah.
Ghana cities,
yeah, 54 million.
54 million. And at that time, I kind of 54 million. Near kind of number of schools, AC, number of hospitals, any other thing, be a grace a bit me, I can be. Now, from the finance point of view, BB obey Bia will be asking our consequence. Into weigh the cost benefit analysis. You remember, say, Parliament approve trumu, and all that. Quickly, and advice from Attorney General about on net implication. Advice from Finance Ministry about on net implication. Number one, advice ben and a buy and a my abrogated this contract. Now a buyer no a buyer who then. I told them I've praised a member as a mayor politician.
By way be.
Nanso near meka in politics ne say BBC. Now there is no punishment. You see, it's a social contract. A contract between Ghanaians and MPP government. It's not a Ghanaians and President Nana-Addo. It's between Ghanaians and MPP government. What JD said, 2016, your people were contributing because you were paying money to people. I didn't say why you me a DSC Kenya. Me let's school name Chrome say near me pet because me call Mrs. Sika di be school no and ye dia ma why you. I know say na why you mean na busuafo obi betwa mu ha wo dwene say Ghana anye ye nyina no oka ho ana ono a. Just few years down the line na me read the article be wey ena ne ye ka ho asemo
bebre wo
judgment date yet to Ghana abeka say sebi who is concerned about Ghana when they bring Ghana don't worry that come see about there bia you blame cocoa farmers that come na at that time cocoa farmer no so no he's acting the one who no aban bine ene ho ondwene kina ho ba o pese cocoa farmer de ondwene 1 month ho Jacob na tie minuansia o ka sika ni bomu no na bisa say sika ya kwahwe bobusia adi ye nwuma wo Ghana na ye kopa bosia ne bawia ya sheda me koye consultancy private company bi na ye ne aban company aban agency na ye adwuma no. Can you imagine say ye gusu ayeye back and forth ni nya eduru baabi na omo frey oh baabi amadu ide oh mo qualify for judgment debt. Yes.
Organized crime.
Baabi a waduru no baabi a moye papers akoduru no mo qualify for judgment debt. Enti akoba se aban poka se onye bie mu a so the attempt ni nyina ne say right from day one let's prepare you.
Mr. say boapayo no one
na da bia da kwam neto asum say okay we dey yam fa ne say ade we na mempe okay ade anya say o me generate power no o be generate power no nanso power ye be generate no ye dwene say e wo bebre and amari wen enji kuma say you see the best form say no ma we nyina no me say apart from hydro a won't mean Pejan and Nenkosia. Echna, see, I didn't say one district, one factory. And then you create a hub for some factories. You bet me up Pejas up where I abrogate ye. I could see what say, what your mouth 24/7 power. And the Peja will go see what, and ma will be my way munkwa for this agenda. Kwabena, you say okay, you didn't say you cancel. You canceller, you bend your way, you lose way. And to be an economist will come mana. I have no opportunity cost. Just a JB, what can one here? One here, one no crab phone. And then,
as some said,
I come now, you cotia. You po, but you were in what month? I guess you rest September. A cobase, MPP Lucia. Right. Wow, baby, you have to meet Tia before December. You have to meet Tia before election. Even if MPP win here, all right. The next, even if my painful for a baby diso, into a jananim. Your debt, I drew almost 800 billion. No. A Kwabena Sab Skaway and Kanwo. Sassikawi, the air can one semen day and count. Near Nam Kwanswa Ebiba and count. So, ye jai, ye kotia, ye betia, obishe bebam. The tia biano, obishe ebebam, because obishe embamua. Sorry,
individual, government, just qualify for amendments.
Was it
individual, your government,
you say individual, the American want to Masiana. You see, the American is an individual, all children, the baby want to know who qualify. And when you qualify,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, the Okano, they are not crying, no Okano, but they are what the
qualifies.
I want Melamuno, Obetina, I am more obligated. Or those cancers are binding cooking.
You see, I
am a book. Ghana Benny,
organized crime.
I'm not obedient, but
I'm glad that we know that this government is an organized crime. This government is an organized crime. Who is responsible? The people who are working, who appointed them. Who appointed them? The friends and family issues are here. Why not appointing them? I agree with you. I don't know. I agree with you. I agree with that.
Former Supreme Court Judge Yewura Doche Ekasembi also create loot and share. Unim ni etu asasam no kan no o madwum temita ka na madwundwun ne ma bi wonam say ah ade we does it make sense for it to happen? Example ne dey am dey mam. Sa tax here council almost $3 billion. Sa ko si say
$3 billion.
$3 billion.
Na ya e ko che.
Can for so be and so bit be di we ko no akwaje sempoa we ko no akwaje kapre anka ba ne sen sebe e ba ne sen e no bi de meka na be de asam na court na wotwe ntam mi amasa say akose asam am de ba court ma hwe asan na odipo na de meka na de meko ba bifu so ko di ma asam wo ho eno so makoboka amiam sika no masako bo ho ka akọ file me papers ohun so be di kuguo no o de asam san ba fie CM na meka na me to na mehwe o man bi enti ye de besia na madam wase na mo no
eja ko echina anapa echina area Dr. Baumia be meet president
mekobi o mekobi enti
obeka na waka dia ewo wo ache obeye Zabwa Ghana
is vice president.
He's initiative. May I say vice president. May I say 50 initiative near that say I'm a economy initiative. May I say Africa you Thompson.
One such inquiry into
manifesto na first set for you me say me that say unim mame for some kwan me pamcho nana me pamcho mame for some kwan na me for sedama o mo ehwe matadie perfect man for omo number 0244 Debbie. Oh, made in Ghana. The trousers crowd.
Na Versace.
Ghana here. Perfect man and a pamame. 0244147212. St. Phillips and Ayrton. Now perfect man for and a pam in a come the trousers and war. FA pa. And I no pay. Mammy for some. Ochina. I me bra penny be birthday. Oh, Sunyane. Your friend Ora Jokona. Jokona enye mfie something ho fe papa me bo ye ji kire wa ho bejuru enti bra no pay me ma happy birthday in advance o yere hot and cold say me catch us do too much ye nyina ye pe wasem pa na ana no pay ye sorry me dey asida em special ice this way ene abusuani nyina so ma boy production team damase na mum aseba ko pe na bisa ye adwene se ye kekere Ghana ana se ye adwene se ye bo Ghana ye adwene se ye moama na konanim ana se adwene se ye mayanka se yakoanim moama na ka akira na hye no so se yatwe ye mutan oman no enum ne yete se ebo a ebo ma yen amanso na eye ma ye enti yeda ye nwene yakram ye ho ayadom a na wo twe se ye behia